morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a special edition of here Trekking Across the Universe. It is not the weekend review. It is not Monday Night America, but it is a Monday night. Depends where you are in the world. We want to welcome everyone. Folks, they say that no one can hear you scream in space. Well, let me tell you, it's damn cold, but that's neither here nor there. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. Hey, you know who I am. I'm not gonna belabor it. You know who that guy is way over there. Michael, who doesn't like airlocks. And then, I'm sorry. You're not in your sports persona right now.
No, I am not.
Richard. Hear him roar. Good evening, Richard. How are you?
I'm fine. How is everybody today, tomorrow, this morning? Whatever it is.
I'm actually just stalling because she's already here with us. And I don't know why. That. We're going to get to it. I got to tell you, surprise guest yesterday, surprise guest today. I'm just jazzed. Mercedes Dela Cruz is in the house.
And Lucy Liu.
Oh, yes.
All right.
And the return of Lucy Liu. The return of Lucy Liu, too. I was going to try to work part due in there, or is this some sort of deja vu? But, hey, it's neither here nor there. Look, we have several people in the chat room. Folks, let us know who you are and where you hail from. Linda, hi, welcome back. Of course, there is Elizabeth and Marcia. Okay. And Linda says, and Roger, this time we have you doubly covered on your welcome now. So I was whining to Mercedes before we went live about that. So, hey, it's all good. Linda says, welcome back, Mercedes. And Woof. That was for Lucy Liu. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Let's hope she doesn't Woof.
Yes. Yeah. Folks, once again, let us know who you are, where you hail from. But we are live. As you know, Michael is from the nation's capital. This guy over here is from the heartland, somewhere called Ohio. And, of course, I'm in Southern California, and Mercedes is on the West Coast. So, hey, it's been a long time, young lady. What you doing?
Weird, it's backwards. So if I need to look at you, I need to go this way.
Oh, right. You're going to have to, you just get used to it. We've been doing it for a while, so it's easy for us. I can just look up. And I'm going to have to show you on camera. Obviously, I'm just looking at the roof of the garage.
Yeah. So, I'm actually looking at Lucy. Does that work?
It does. All right. So I'm being mistaken for a dog right now. I'm all right with that. It's okay. If that's your point, if you're
that blocking, is accurate.
You're funny. Now, once again, notice that Richard, everyone in the audience, dressed up for the occasion. He's the only professional one.
Thank you, Richard.
You're welcome. I knew that Roger wouldn't, so someone has to pick up the slack.
I'm cold, homie. It's cold.
Gosh, what is it?
What he doesn't want to be thrown out of an airlock either.
But what's the temperature over there, Roger?
It's 57 degrees, but 30 mile an hour. Hey, it's isn't there wind chill? There's wind chill.
Oh, so it's 55?
Probably, yeah. 56.
All right. Well, I guess I can't complain. It's 62 here. So
it's colder. Lighten up. Mercedes, you got the real old guys tonight.
Hold on a second. Do you know the conversion between Celsius and Fahrenheit?
We know there's a conversion, but we probably don't know it right away.
We're Americans. We don't care about that.
Okay, what do you say? 50 what? That is -5.
Oh, that's cold. Okay. Yeah.
Oh no, I'm kidding.
You're allowed.
No, I'm kidding. That's
not correct.
I made him to make him feel good. It's actually about 15 degrees.
Oh. Okay. Wind chill.
Then to be 13.
And also, you're trying to tell a Canadian that it's cold.
Yeah, I'm from Edmonton originally, and
oh wow,
it can get up to, well, let's just say last time I was home for Christmas, it was -50 with the wind chill. So I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit.
Yeah, I don't want to know.
get Michael to do the conversion, and you'll like blow your socks off knowing how cold
What was the temperature again?
Minus with wind chill. With the wind.
Minus 82.
You kept
No, she said minus 50.
But that's Celsius.
Well, that's like minus pretty close to like minus 50, 55 to us.
Yeah,
that's minus death over here. Susie says it's 78 in Baton Rouge. So good for you. Elizabeth says, hey, Susie, you made it tonight. So they're carrying on the conversation over there. I want to thank you, first off, Mercedes. You sent Michael some information, and that is real cool. We're going to get to it when we get to it real quick. But I'm really jazzed. I want to thank you again for joining us again. That was the pre-show last night.
Yeah, we got to punk you a little bit. Michael's
yeah. I was very surprised, as was Jag, and who knows, maybe Jag will join us shortly, or maybe he's having something going on, but he should be joining us. So, folks, you know why we're here. We're talking about the ARC, and of course, our special guest, Helena Trust. Wow. Now, is it Helena or Helena?
Okay, so funny story. This was filmed in Belgrade, Serbia, and in Serbia, names are pronounced a very different way. So, am I still there?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, you are.
Oh, I forgot to send him a code.
No code. I don't know what that means.
Yeah,
I sent it to you, Mercedes, but I didn't send it to him. You see, that was.
So I couldn't get it.
I'm bad. Yeah.
That's funny. That is funny. We did our co-host wrong.
So yeah, in Serbia, pronunciation is very different from the West. And so, a name like Jelena would be Jelena.
Oh.
And so in Serbia, Helena is Helena. But that's not a Western way of saying it. But on set, a lot of the people were Serbian, and so they were saying Helena. However, when we asked the executive producers and whatever, it should be Helena because she's American. So for the longest time, they were calling my character one thing, and I wasn't even sure what my name was going to be or how it was going to be pronounced until the day I got on set. And then we had a vote, and we decided since she's American, it would be Helena. But it was actually quite challenging for my husband. His name is Paul in real life. Paul Leonard
Hey,
Murray.
Paul!
Not my actual husband. I'm not married. I mean, my husband on the show.
Yes.
Okay, good. He's lived in Serbia for the last, I don't know, like 12 years or something. And so he would say Helena. And so it was really hard for him to say Helena. And it took him a few times. And I think he even did a couple takes where he said my name wrong.
That's funny. That is. It's one thing to have another character to pronounce it differently, but to have your main squeeze on set. That's funny.
Well, I mean, the worst part is I didn't even know what it was. So
Yeah. That is cool.
But yeah, to answer your question, Helena.
Excellent. So we were messing around yesterday about some ideas as to if you have an ARC number, what would it be? As you know, I suggested 86 because you're into just eliminating people. But then you answered back efficiently where it was you would be ARC 1. Yeah, that's right, number 1. So is it going to be number 1?
I'm going with number 1.
All right, excellent. So I suppose ARC 86 is available, and who knows? Maybe someone will want to go ahead and take that one. Marcia says, we do not know a whole lot about Helena's backstory. We will learn more. So we're going to get to it. Richard, you missed out on yesterday's program. We had a blast without you.
That's impossible.
Oh, dude, we did.
I'm just kidding.
I'm glad you joined us, and Jag will be joining us shortly. So why don't you get it going? Join the party, man. You have any questions? You missed a lot, buddy, yesterday. So,
well, I'm sorry.
Already having my clamato.
I didn't get the memo that she was going to be on. So.
Roger didn't either.
None of us did.
Except me.
Surprise.
Oh, surprise attack. I see.
Uh-huh.
Nobody knew. I was in my gym clothes.
Okay.
I didn't even shower. Okay, I was not.
Well,
not ready.
luckily this is video, and that doesn't matter. So.
Yes.
True.
But, I guess first off, hit the like and subscribe button, and hit that notification bell. It's very important for us to do that. That was just getting some housekeeping out of the way. Do I have a question? Yeah. So, who's the bigger bitch, Helena or Kelly?
Helena or Kelly? I would say Kelly. Absolutely. What I was talking about yesterday with Roger and Michael and Jag was that Helena, she doesn't believe that she's doing anything wrong. She really believes that she has the best interest of the human race. Hi, Jag.
Hello, I'm sorry. In case anybody didn't know, I'm the official custodial officer on the Ark, and there was a spill on the observation deck, so I had to take care of that.
Okay, all right. Sorry about that, buddy. We really did mess up. But
Okay.
Mercedes, please continue.
Sorry.
No problem. I was just talking about how they were asking who's the bigger bitch, Kelly or Helena. And I was explaining how Helena doesn't believe that she's doing anything wrong. I don't, innately, I think most villains don't think they are either, right? They're doing what they believe is the best thing. But here she actually is really going with her heart. And she's also thinking about the big picture, about the human race. She doesn't
Well, those
go
kind
back.
of villains are the best that think they're doing no wrong. So those are the best villains.
Well, absolutely. Absolutely. And she has a lot of passion. And she also needs to kind of rein in her husband a lot of the time. Like I was saying yesterday, like he has a lot of passion into what he's doing and takes things really personally, where Helena can be like, okay, we need to do this, we need to do that, stop worrying about this, where he's too in it and can't really see past it. She's really in love with her husband, but they have this relationship that it's very codependent. He almost, it's weird to say, but almost like a father or a son and mother kind of relationship, which he actually kind of needs. It helps him know where he needs to go, gives him that push that he needs, and he almost can't do it without her, and I think that's another big reason why he wouldn't go to Kat in episode 9. He's too scared to not have Helena in his life because she's the pants in the relationship,
Well,
and he wouldn't know what to do without her.
So,
Yeah.
Does your character think that Kat is a threat to her relationship with Trust?
Well, believe it or not, Kat is Helena's best friend.
Really?
Oh my.
Whoa, wait a minute.
Hang on. Mind blown.
Okay, that is breaking news, all right? If we didn't see it on the episode,
Wow.
dumbasses,
You know what?
think about that. In episode 9, they sat down and they
They were
having
eating- yes.
they were having fruit. And Kat did it for him.
Yes, and then
Oh,
wait a
my
minute.
goodness.
And then when Helena said, I was worried about you being assigned to Garnett. So that was another clue. And I
Right.
missed it.
And what they mean, you guys were talking about it yesterday on the review. What they meant about that was she got assigned Garnett for the water drinking.
Yes.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Yes.
Yes, I was the one that said it was from the beginning.
Beginning, she wouldn't have known any of that assigned for to do the coup, right?
So this is why I'm the custodial officer on the
Oh, stop it. That is funny, though. But all right. I wonder if I have an answer for this question from Linda, but I obviously want to hear Mercedes because she knows more than we do. If Bill loves Helena so much, why
Yes.
does he mess around so much? I think you touched on it already a little bit with the relationship, but please enlighten us. That's a good question, Linda.
Let's hear what you have to say about that, Roger.
You mentioned it's almost a mother-son relationship. And while they may love each other and they are intimate, he still sees you as a mama, maybe. So he does look for someone that he does not see in that vein. Or maybe, I mean, well, he's a guy. He's a guy. Guy's a guy. So maybe he just, I don't know. He doesn't want to mess with mom in a way.
Okay, that's interesting. Does
Yeah,
anybody
but
else?
Helena does rein him in when he starts to get in that wandering eye. She
Oh,
does
hell
pull
yeah,
him
she
in,
does.
like saying, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! Let's don't start that again."
Yeah, we don't have an agreement. That's for sure.
Okay.
What I would say is also there's a cult following behind us. We're celebrities. We are like the top celebrities. You know,
Oh,
and when you're a rock star, you got girls hanging all over you. It's kind of the same thing, right?
Yeah.
So
Yes.
you know,
Yes.
So-
I didn't think
so would
about
things
that.
change if Bryce came on to you then, with
uh,
those big muscles and the tight shirts that he wears?
Oh God.
he's such a great guy too. It's so funny. Just to know these people like I do, and then work with them and see how they are on the show, and the persona that they have. He's just like the sweetest. And yeah, he's got his muscles and stuff, but he's just super chill and laid back, and he's not a womanizer by any means.
Well, I'm not meaning that. I'm just it was just a theatrical
Character
thing.
to character, yeah.
Well, I kind of have a Bryce crush, so that's why I bring it up every time I have
I
a
get
guest on here.
I get it. He's a really good musician in real life too. So
That's what I've read. So, will he get a chance to play on the show eventually? For your musical episode?
I mean, that would be a really fun twist. I don't think there's anything this season where he's pulling out his guitar.
Probably not.
But there could be something in the future. To answer your question, Richard, Helena, I don't know if you guys noticed I think it was episode 7 when they came out of the cryopod.
Oh, she's a hardcore fan. She's committed to the. You are a fan yourself.
I am.
You can name the episodes in the moment. Damn. Sorry.
Well, when they come out of the cryopod and there you do see the secret room, and then he says, how did this get here? And she's like, well, of course you don't think I would have, figured out every part of this plan, right? And then you see them making out. They're passionate. They have great sex, and that kiss is almost uncomfortable, and it's supposed to be. You have Lane sitting there like.
That was funny.
Yeah, that was funny. Deadpan.
Could we? Yeah.
Move it
And it's supposed to be like when we filmed that. It was hilarious. She was like, "Really go for it." The director was like, "Yeah, like really."
And I want to
make it uncomfortable, make everyone in the room uncomfortable. So we were just like,
I saw that. And is that your favorite editor?
editor?
Your guy that does the editing for you? Is that him on the comic?
Oh, Frank! Yes.
Oh.
You guys remembered. Yes, he's phenomenal. He puts together like my demo reels for me. He sends me always like videos or things that I've been in. He'll find reviews and send them to me. The guy is like, he's one of my favorite. Half the time I don't even know that I have something that's out, and he's like, "Hey, your show's on tonight at 9." Like, he's so on it. Hi, Frank.
Right.
Okay, good story. Okay. Oh my gosh, funny story. I'll have to think. There are. I'm sure that there's many, but
yeah.
let me just.
Okay.
Frank, you got me like on the spot here now.
So I'm going to go back to your maternal kind of thing you were saying between the mom and son kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because I saw that also on the crew. You were treating pretty much the character was treating the crew like kids. Yeah, you would sit down when you're told, and so forth. So I'm wondering if that's an actual basic trait of Helena.
I'd say so. She's very she knows what she wants, and she wants people to be submissive to her. So that's another kind of twist that maybe you can think about for the couple.
We are.
Oh, no, my mind, yeah.
Let me ask a follow-up to that. And I want to thank everyone, again, who's in the chat room. Frank, thank you for joining us. Linda, we will get to your question in a moment. Folks, the questions are flying. Bear with us. We want to get to it, but the flow is taking us to different places. So as far as characters, is Helena older than William? Just out of curiosity. That would be an interesting dynamic. Okay, so she is younger or maybe the same age?
No, a bit younger. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
It's not the same age, Roger.
Oh, well, no, because, the mom, son thing,
Yeah, but look at her. She's not as old as William.
No, I said the character, not her. She already put
still,
us
they
in
don't
our
make
place.
her look older.
No, I did. Okay, maybe I did screw up that way. All right, but look, it was unintentional. She put us in our... And thank you. I guess I lost that job, whatever it was. I forget that I was applying for.
I'm waiting.
I know what you're saying,
PR, yes.
I'm waiting for her to say, sit down and do what you're told.
Yes. Okay, that is fair. I was just wondering if there was that part of the dynamic too, that in the program she might have been a bit older. So no, that's
no, no, that's not the thing. It's just a dynamic, I would say. Like, often people will date people that are like their parents, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like we're either trying to heal something from our past, or that let's say you just like love how your dad is, then you might go for someone like your dad, something like that. Maybe not you from your dad, but I mean me for my dad.
Yes.
I don't know. Maybe you swing that way. I'm not sure. It's so either way. It's all good.
At first, I was going to think that Kat had daddy issues, the way she was kind of flirting with William.
Yeah, well, Kat, I mean, she
has issues.
She's a celebrity in her own right as well, and she's used to getting her own way.
Mm-hmm.
And so she's not used to hearing no, right? But I never thought of her as a threat, because really she was my best friend, or is my best friend. And because of our celebrity status, you can't just hang out with just anyone, because they don't understand you. They don't know what it's like to be in the limelight. You can't take them to the same kind of parties, things like that. And essentially, like, my husband and I are the most famous people on earth, and Kat had her show, right? So it worked out. It worked out really well in that aspect. And look, they didn't tell me when I was auditioning for the role or got the role that there was a mother or a mother-son dynamic. That's just the way that I looked at it when I was prepping for the role, and how it felt like to me, because I do wear the pants in the relationship, and he is very submissive towards everything that I say, and I rein him back in, and I'm not necessarily telling him what to do, but I'm that voice in his ear, keeping him on track.
Yes. First of all, I'm glad you brought up the dynamic of, because we forget, we're in episode 9 going into 10. We forgot about the whole popularity of the couple that you guys are, and Kat, that she's a reality TV star. So it's good that you brought that kind of background back, so that we can kind of understand. Yeah, it makes sense now that the trust and Helena and Kat would be friends.
Right.
Another thing I missed. When you were prepared, and if I ask questions that you already answered, I apologize. Just slap me or whatever.
I'll do it.
Yeah, I know you will. When you were preparing for the role, and you said you read into it and you realized some things and stuff, that they, as the producers or the writers, just gave you free brain and just let you do the role, or did they offer some tips as well, or it was a combination, or how did that work?
Well, to tell you the truth, I originally was auditioning for Cat.
Really?
Oh.
And it was down to me and Christina for Cat. And I really put a lot into that. Like, I was really excited for that role. And it you know, then I came, I can't remember. I was in Brazil actually at the time when I did the audition. And I had my acting coach who was in Serbia via Zoom do the audition with me and sent it away, and they really liked it. And actually there was a long process of even getting this, any of the auditioning happening, because originally, like, they wanted to create it in Serbia, but they wanted to make sure that they had good actors that were there. And a big challenge in Serbia is there's a lot of great actors, absolutely, but their accents are so strong, and it's very challenging for that kind of accent to be able to do English really plainly. And actually, the ones that do speak English will speak it with a British accent, like Felix, for example. He's Serbian, and he has this great British accent, but he wouldn't be able to sound American. But he was taught how to speak English in school with a British accent. So they can do that. That's much easier. And look, this is a gross generalization. I'm not saying that nobody who is Serbian can do an American accent. They can. Absolutely. It's just challenging. It's a different part of the mouth. Your tongue has to move a different way. So anyways, in the very beginning, when they wanted to have the show there, they did auditions where they sent us something from a different show that was already out, and it was a space show. And they just kind of wanted to hear how we sounded and, you know, how we delivered lines and whatnot. And that was sort of round one. And then the second round was when they sent out the audition sides. I auditioned for Sharon as well as Kat. And was there another one? I think it might have just been Sharon and Kat. Anyways, then it got down to the callbacks, and it was like me and Christina for Kat. She plays such a good Kat. I'm so happy that she got that. But yeah, and they really, Dean Devlin really wanted me in the show. That's what I heard anyway. I didn't specifically talk to him about it after, but when I was talking to the other producers about it, they're like, this role was pretty much written for you. And it said like, attractive Latino girl.
Yes. Yes.
And that's what it says on the IMDb credits.
Yeah.
It's on the IMDb credits. Yes.
Yeah. Exactly. For the first episode, they didn't reveal who I was yet.
Right.
And,
right.
Hi, Eddie.
Hi, Eddie.
Yeah, they didn't reveal who I was yet, so it was just attractive Latino girl or woman or something like that. And that's another thing is because my character was a secret, I didn't do any release. I didn't talk about the show with anyone. I signed a big NDA, and typically I would do some sort of what do you call it? Release, a press release about what I'm going to be in. And they said, nope, no press release. And we had one ready, and I was like, okay, I can't wait to tell the world I'm going to be on the Ark. Nope.
Well, that kind of reminds me, because on Supernatural, you were porn girl number 6.
Oh, was it?
In that episode with Richard Speet, or whatever, how you pronounce his name.
So great. I love Richard.
But I'm looking at your credits. It says, okay, that's a nice credit, porn girl number 6. But so I went back and rewatched the episode, and yeah, you were porn girl number 6. Good job.
You counted, right?
I played in Supernatural twice. You can do another character in it after 3 years has passed.
Well, I saw that you did too.
Yeah. Yeah. The original one, I was like Rabid Girl number 1 or something.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, oh, okay, nice.
Hey,
I was infected.
It seems like you made the CW rounds though, because you're like in almost in every show.
Yes.
Yeah. Well,
and then you did it. Go ahead.
Have tons and tons and tons of American TV that's here. That's good quality TV. CW stuff is great. You know, they're a good network, or were. I think they're on their way
Yeah,
out.
they were.
Yeah.
We don't know
They
what the deal is now, but
Yeah.
a lot of that stuff is gone, I guess.
But you were everywhere. You did an Xfinity ad. I saw that you were in History Channel and the Project Blue Book playing.
Yeah,
I think you were playing a stewardess or something. I think on
Oh,
that
you
episode.
were in Project Blue Book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you've been. You know, a lot of us just know us
Professionally, she's been around.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but I mean, we know you as Helena Trust here, but it's just interesting. And I was doing some research to see you've been around professionally in doing your work for quite a bit, and I love the fact that there are diverse roles. So
Yeah.
you definitely have that range.
Absolutely. Me too. Well, let me touch on that, and then also I didn't quite finish answering the question that.
Yeah, we're all over the place. You should
Yes.
have known that already.
On that.
There's so much to talk about, and so little time.
There is. And
Yes.
which question? There was actually several by Linda. Which one did you want to go back to?
You were asking, I think that was you, about did they just let me go with the role?
Oh, that was me. I'm sorry. Yes.
Okay. So when I auditioned for it, they didn't give me much. I just, you know what? My audition piece was that flashback of me sitting with my husband during that interview.
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm.
And the interviewer is saying, is it true that you don't want to go on Arc 1 because you fear that it may not make it to its destination? And then he starts to flip out, and then I calm him down. And what my husband is trying to say is, and then I explain that, you know, he wants to fix or perfect the faster than light speed engine. And so it will not be done in time. And so we're hoping that it's done in time so that we can go on Arc 5. So, you know, we're talking about that. That was my audition piece. And they didn't tell me much except for I was a strong character, you know. I think they may have said something like, maybe not the pants in the relationship, but something like that. Or diplomatic, they said. I was diplomatic. And when I did the role, I actually based it on, you know, House of Cards?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So Robin Wright's character in House of Cards,
Yes.
I just loved her in that. And when I did the audition piece, that's what I based it on. And so in my mind, I wanted to do it a lot like Robin Wright. I wanted her to be very diplomatic and, you know, not say too much with her face. I wanted her to be quite stoic and stuff. And then when I got to set, it was different, right? They were like, you know, they wanted a little bit more from me. And so you can see, like, you know, the disapproval in Helena's face a lot. And that was, you know, a push from the director, Zip. And that was fun. I mean, I got to, I don't know, do more, I guess you could say, without doing too much.
So along the lines of House of
Thank
Cards, both of the characters, the one Spacey and her, they had the moments where they were doing their planning, conniving, where they were sharing a cigarette. And that was a moment that happened often. They were by their window and they were conniving. And knowing that, if you had your dithers, what is that moment that you would have with Mr. Trust? What is it? You guys making a list on who you're going to eliminate? Is it the which FTL ships will make it to Prox? Or what
It's not really necessary. Sorry, go ahead. What was the last thing?
No, go ahead. No, I was just going to finish by saying, what is it that both of you would have? What is your signature moment?
Well, it's tough because we're on a ship.
Yeah.
Right? So you're lacking in, you know, you can't light up. You know, I think for us, our sexuality brings us together. So it would be maybe like after sex, laying there and talking about things, perhaps.
With laying there being uncomfortable, right?
If I hit him hard enough, he'll be out. And
This is
I was
Roger.
dying to ask, how many times did you practice that? And how many times did you miss the mark?
you know what? It's funny that you should say that.
You did hit him.
You did it in one take.
Huh?
You did it in one take.
No, I had a really hard time hitting him.
Oh.
And I know that it's light, it's styrofoam, basically. It's plastic, and it's not a hard plastic. And I would go and it would just not even touch his hair. And they're like, you got to touch his head. I'm like, okay, I'll do it this time. And then again, I don't touch his head. And then and I'm a physical person. I don't mean I hit people. I mean, I like physical, I love working out. I love Muay Thai. I do a lot of Muay Thai. I just lived in Thailand for the last 5 months, and I had a Muay Thai trainer, and that's how I like to spend my time. So I guess I do like hitting and kicking.
Writing these down.
But with gloves. Anyway, I think we probably, the stunt coordinator was getting annoyed. And he was like, okay, let me show you. And then he does it on him. And he's like, now try it on me. And for some reason, I had no problem hitting the stunt coordinator, but I didn't want to hit Lane.
Yeah.
Well,
A lot of people cheered. Because some of us don't like Lane. So a lot of people cheered. Yes, you got him. Because we've been wanting to do that vicariously through some character on the show. So.
Right. Well, that's the funny thing is like he seemed to be like an antagonist, and people like had this for him, but he's not actually that. He just really the same sort of thing, wants the best thing for everyone and wants it to be done properly, but it annoys people, right? And I guess and that's sort of the same thing with Helena too. Like, she doesn't want to hurt people. It's not like she's she did say that she was gonna throw
Alicia
out the airlock, but it was because she wasn't a team player. She was going to kibosh everything that they've worked for. And it's not like they're working for it for my benefit. It's to help the human race, right? Yeah. Like, all this work that we've gone through. Poor William, I mean, this whole thing with Clampkins, that wasn't supposed to happen. He had spent all of this time and money and efforts and sleepless nights coming up with this plan, to help save the ozone or, whatever that layer is protecting planet Earth, to help save people. And at first it was a success, right? It seemed to be doing well. People applauded him. It was like the next best thing. And then it's like smoking. They said it was good for you. Then you find out it isn't, So, it was something like that. And even after that, there was a lot of people that were hurt or that were dying, and a lot of people hated him. He still didn't stop. He still wanted to find a way to save the planet Earth. And then I'm backing him up the whole time too. Like, imagine what our family went through with all of these people like hurt or dying, and the tremendous pressure that puts on him and on us. And like, people either love us or they hate us, but we have to be the brunt of it all the time. And that's a major challenge when all you're trying to do is help, right? No one else is doing anything. So, why are you giving us a hard time? Yeah, not everything's going to work out, but we're trying, right? And so I think Helena just is getting to like this fed up point where even she had to take the reins. I mean, you can see in the flashback in episode 6. Is it 8?
Oh, 6.
With Felix. And,
that was 8.
We're being escorted out of the building. He's losing his mind, right? This is his life's work. And now,
Maddox.
Thank you.
Maddox.
Evelyn
Yes.
is now taking over and kicked him out. And I'm still like, okay, we need to still stick to this plan, but he's too wrapped up emotionally in it that he can't see the big picture. And that's, why I step in and do what I do to get him on arc 1. Right?
Yes.
And I had a lot of people helping me. All of these high-ranking officers, not all of them, but quite a few of the high-ranking officers knew what was going on, but they all died in episode 1. They didn't even make it into any of it.
Oh.
So now all of a sudden I'm on a ship with no help, and my husband doesn't even at the very beginning, know why he's there. Now I have got no help, right? So it's super stressful for Helena. And she's still trying to keep him together, and he's the one always losing his shit. And so it's a lot of added pressure. And then we've got this little brainiac kid who wants to get in the way of success. See ya. Yeah.
Carla.
I just want to say real quick, I am just so amazed of your clarity of thought of how you put so much into this episode that you can, a year and a half or however long you've ended from filming to now,
That's right.
you have it cleared as in episode 6 I did this, in episode 7 this and this, and then you feel it's almost like I'm talking to Helena Trust right now.
Mhm.
In that, because you know this character so well, and that is a blessing for the people watching, because that
She
means
has a bunch of Post-it notes all around her.
She's got them all over. Okay, here's
Oh,
Jeff
is
again.
that the yellow reflection we see?
Mercedes,
I'm just kidding.
I
I'm just
have
kidding.
a follow-up question.
Yes.
I hope you didn't answer it when I was away.
I don't
When you were auditioning,
Yeah.
and then they had you finally audition for Mrs. Trust,
Mhm.
did you know that character was going to be a one-shot, or be there in later episodes? Did you know at all, or
Oh yeah.
you did know? Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
You knew it wasn't a one-shot if you
Yeah.
got this part.
You always get breakdowns when you're auditioning, and it'll say recurring, or it'll say one episode, or typically.
Mhm.
Now, also, you don't know for sure. You sign a contract for a year or whatever, but you don't know what's going to happen when it's something like this kind of show that's being written on the fly.
Mm.
And that's what happened with this is we didn't know what was going to happen, and the writers didn't even know what's going to happen until they wrote it. And we're already filming, let's say episode 5, and they haven't even written episode 7 yet,
Mhm.
Yeah, and Irene, I think I read that or saw that from Dean, is because he had written it a certain way. Then the network Sci-Fi told him, no, we like it the way you used to write it. So he was feverishly
You had
trying to rewrite it again to the way that the network, and we of course want to please the network.
Yeah.
And so the network then, I guess, made him rewrite everything. And I guess that kind of, I mean, I'm not going to pretend I'm Dean Devlin, but I'm assuming there were so many logistical and story and so many ways to take the story that, they had to, because I think Stacy alluded to the fact that while she was filming, they were still reading scripts for other shows because it was just last minute kind of thing. So,
Yeah.
yes.
And then, what happens too is when a person starts playing a character, it's going to be different than how you may have thought it or, saw it in your mind. Like even with Stacy's character, oh my gosh, sorry, I have notifications on. Hear that
Oh,
beeping?
no, it's all right.
It's okay. This is
It's
live.
all right.
Muffins are done.
That's a voice audio message. I'm trying to find a place. I'm trying to move in Vancouver. I just got back here, and I'm trying to find a place to live. So people are sending me ideas. And anyways, I'm putting it out there, you guys. I'm looking for something particular, hopefully downtown-ish, a relatively good price. I've got a dog.
That you can walk to everything, right?
Yeah, I don't have a car right now, so it would be good to, be able to walk or use this.
Why do you need a car when you have an ARC? I'm kidding.
Oh, you beat me to it, dude. Yeah, you brat.
Oh my.
I don't have
I know.
that education. But yeah, what I was gonna say is even with Stacey, she's a British actor, and her accent is Sometimes it sounds a little British, sometimes it sounds a little American. And so they even incorporated that into the script by saying, oh, I'm from here and here. And, you know,
that's right. Yes.
Yeah,
Right.
she had told us that. Yeah.
yeah.
especially
And
when
so-
she started off in
to her, I said-
Cincinnati, and I'm thinking, she
Yeah.
had to get out of there.
Yeah, she kept shifting.
She doesn't want to
accents.
stay
I
in
told her,
Cincinnati,
I said,
Ohio. That's for sure.
Your accent keeps shifting. I hear British, and then I hear Canadian, and then I hear American, and then she said, "Oh yeah, because of that's okay." Fine.
Because she's from
Right.
here. And,
yeah. And so that's just another it's another example of how things will shift once you have somebody actually playing a human being playing the role, right? They may have to add certain things in, like she obviously isn't American, and she was I believe cast as an American. So after her accent was kind of going in and out, then they made sure that the audience understood why she lived here, she lived there, you know, and then you're not questioning it anymore. And I'm sure that happened with lots of other parts of the show I just don't know of. That's all.
Yeah. Well, Dean had mentioned that he had to change the character of Angus totally because he had pictured a totally different actor to play it. And then when Mr. Adams got the role, he changed everything about the character.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, that's what he told us. Yeah.
Wow.
So,
And Ryan,
so when he cast Ryan, it was like, oh, he does not fit my vision, and so he said he had to change everything. So that was, yeah. So
Without being too nosy, is that Diet Coke?
this?
Yes.
No,
Not
this is
Diet
a coffee. But
Yeah, that's
Okay.
not Diet
but you missed it yesterday. But yeah, go
when
ahead.
I'm in Vancouver, I like to drink Zevia.
Oh,
Like Diet
and what it?
But instead of it being sweetened with diseases, you know, like that's good for you. This is sweetened with stevia.
Oh,
And
yeah,
so-
yeah.
Well,
And at the very bottom, no clampkins.
All right, very good. I need to take a quick moment. I want to remind everyone, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. This is Trekking Across the Universe. This is our Monday night episode, of course, with the incredibly intelligent, the incredibly beautiful, and into her character.
Well, thank
Mercedes
you,
de la
Roger.
Cruz.
I'm glad you noticed.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I did. By the
oh,
way,
I'm sorry. I'm just kidding.
it is absolutely amazing how you are so committed and you know so much, as Jag mentioned earlier. But again, I want to remind everyone, folks, I know you're mesmerized. We have so many people watching us, and the questions have just stopped because they're just listening. So, folks, go ahead. Let us know if you have any other questions or other comments. Keep them coming. We do have a bit of a surprise, again, from Mercedes, that she sent over a few videos. And we're on your time, young lady. So whenever you want to start getting to that, we want to get to that too. I don't.
I'm good. I'm with you guys tonight.
Oh, that I'm
that
eternally
is
grateful
nice.
for that.
That is
I do
nice.
want to remind everyone, for those that did not catch yesterday's episode, and shame, airlock for you guys. I'll
Airlock.
throw you guys in the airlock. But anyway, just kidding. Mercedes clarified some of our beliefs, and it was really cool. Where I for one believed that they were in it for themselves, or her character, and trust that they are out to win it all and be installed as a leader. As a matter of fact, I think she said that. And now knowing what Mercedes said yesterday, that might have been just to mollify him. I wonder if that was where she says, and we're going to get you on Prox 4 or Prox B, and we're going to install you as leader. I wonder how much she was leading him on, because, and this is where Mercedes set me and many others right, she's not in it for themselves per se, but by they winning, they save humanity, which is something that I don't think any of us were thinking about. And then also today, you enlightened us about the friendship between the two. So this is cool. This is cool, folks. We'd love to hear your ideas, your comments, concepts about the relationships, what you think is going to happen. And maybe we can play a little bit of a game. Your ideas of what may happen and then we'll just have Mercedes just like either smile or make no, no.
Oh my God.
NDA.
That is a
NDA,
bad way to get
NDA.
around an NDA. Come
The thing
on.
is, my face says it all. Like my mom is like that too. Like you know what she's thinking all the time. It just shows. So I don't know. Okay, I would try to keep a neutral face. But also just to touch on one thing that you just said, they do want to win. They both have like a competitive nature for sure. And they're used to winning, and they're used to this stature.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't say that they're just in it for humanity. I mean, it's both. Absolutely. Maddox and Helena are working together.
Oh, okay. All
Oh.
right. There's an idea. Okay. That is cool. Well, all right. We already had something. Okay. What about the invaders?
That would be pretty evil towards her husband, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Unless
it was
Maddox was one of his other girlfriends.
Oh.
Yeah, no, but I think we're getting into next.
Yeah, we are
episode
definitely
territory.
Yeah, we
But
are.
I want to bring it back to the relationship because I think it was Linda, and she brought it up, and I want to make sure because I have it here in my notes. I sense, for some reason, in the character of Helena, for some reason has a special interest or relationship or some kind of background with Felix. Am I correct?
Well, Felix was our bodyguard. And he worked like one-on-one with me and my husband for years, right? So when I say that I knew his husband and daughter, like I knew them well, I sent them, like they were over at our house for Christmas, we had a very close relationship, and he took bullets for us, right? So I expect him to always be on my team. And when I did get him assigned to the ARC, I was really believing I was doing him a favor, just like I was doing my husband a favor by, injecting him.
Yeah.
Injecting him and putting him on a ship.
And I love you. I love you.
Yeah, I love you. I know what's best.
I did do it out of love. And the same thing with Felix. We don't have a lot of close friends. Just like I said, being like having a cult following and being these celebrities, you have to keep kind of a distance, and you never know who to trust. And so, when you trust your life with somebody, you expect them to be on your side until the end, right? So she's astonished actually that he's so angry with her. She's really like, I did this for your own good, shouldn't you be thanking me? Not getting angry with me. She actually is flabbergasted by it. And she's also used to getting her own way, I guess you could say. And even with her husband, even when she does something wrong, he's like, yeah, you annoy, or what does he say? Piss me off.
I love you, but you piss me off.
Yeah, you piss me off, but I love you anyway.
Yeah.
And so
because she's always,
that's what she's used to getting in return. She might do something, but then people will come around and realize that it was for them, not against them. But this thing with Felix has been a challenge and not what she was expecting at all. She jumped through hoops to get certain people put on this ship to make it work the way that she wanted to, or what she believed would be the best interest of getting everything working to save themselves and humanity. And then she wakes up and it's not like she had anticipated at all, right? She has
Felix is going through the fact that he lost his husband and his daughter, as far as he knows. But from what Kelly is telling him, if that's the truth, so he might have some resentment toward the trust in that regard.
because he didn't want to go. He didn't want to go and leave the family and the earth.
Well, exactly. who knows about him leaving? It was more that he wasn't there to protect them. And then Kelly says that his daughter was killed by gunfire.
Yes.
Is it true?
Yeah.
That's what we're doing.
That's what
We're
we've
going,
all said, too.
can we trust her? I just do
Yeah.
have one follow
We
up.
can't
So when
trust
you're,
Kelly, and you should know that by now, Jack. We
Yeah,
just cannot
but
trust
you
that
know-
little woman. No.
yeah, but look
Jay.
but look,
Jake, hold that thought real quick. I do
Okay.
want to give a quick shout out before we get too far ahead. Frank Garcia, I love what he's posting. Set up the next episode, and then what happens next? That is funny. I appreciate that, Frank. Go ahead, Jack. I had to point
But
those out.
just a follow up. So when you're sitting in episode 9 with Griff, and thank you for clarifying that it was Griff.
Yeah.
And Helen is talking to Griff and saying, I really care about Felix, and I met his family, and I know all that. I'm curious about Helena. Was she really just relaying that to Griff to show Griff that she was really caring?
Absolutely. She was manipulating.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she doesn't want to sit with that girl. But
Got it.
she's a super fan. And you can see who's into you and who's not into you. And she knows how to get things done, like I said. And so, she was trying to befriend her. She wanted her to feel comfortable. She wanted her to go against her boss, right? I mean, Felix is basically her boss.
Right.
She's in like the military, right? So
Mm-hmm.
you wouldn't do that. You wouldn't go against your commanding officer. So she really had to put that idea in Griff's mind so that she would go against him. And, Helena was so nice, during that talk, and like really talked to her like she cared. And she does care, but she just really needed her to poison him.
It's amazing. I'm still just goosebumping by the fact that I feel like I'm reliving the episode with you right now as you explain it, because now we're seeing like the insights or the insides of what Helena was thinking, like the after Helena Trust show, that we're now catching more of that, because that was exactly what I thought. But I was curious because you had mentioned earlier, hey, she really does respect Felix because he took a bullet and he's part of the family. And usually when somebody thinks about somebody that highly, they don't usually resort to that. So clearly a goal that Helena has supersedes that kind of care.
Yeah, well, and just, you can see she tried talking to him a number of times, and she tried like explaining herself, and he still is like, fighting up with all this resistance. And so then she's left with no other choice. And that is a hard decision for her too. She doesn't have, she really thought, like, imagine you're Helena, and you're like, okay, this person who has been behind me for a decade, I know I can, he's like the number one person in your mind. And then you find that he hates you. Like, what do? And it wasn't right away. She wasn't trying to, break up the friendship. She was really trying to bring it together, and he just wanted nothing to do with it. So
wow, that's amazing. I bet you half the people in the chat room have now changed their mind a little bit about how they feel about Helena, because now we're seeing that out. We're seeing that other side that maybe we just didn't understand. I'm going to quiet down to give you all the rest, the odd chance to do your thing there. Thank you.
Yeah.
One quick question: since this was filmed a few years ago, did all of the attention catch you by surprise? Like everybody wanted an interview, including us. I mean, does that really? I mean, because were you just sitting around one day, next thing, things started popping up on social media? Like, what's going on? Now that was like 2 years ago. What the hell's going on?
Actually, right. It was a while back, and I knew when the release was coming. We knew when it was going to be airing, and we had an idea around that. Sort of like when we were filming it, we didn't know. But in the last few months, we knew. I've done lots of interviews in the past for lots of other things that I've done. And so I've definitely had experience, with written interviews or like live like this. But then I was saying yesterday, like I took a break. I went to Thailand and I was there for the last 5 months. And other than a few auditions that I did do online, or whatever, I did it there and then sent it away. I was really focusing more on just like being and my Muay Thai and my artwork, which we were going to talk about later.
One more quick question. So is everybody excited? Is there talk of a second season if sci-fi goes along with it?
Yeah.
Or can't you say?
Well, I think everybody wants there to be, anyone who's in a show wants it to continue. Right?
Well, I guess the logistics of trying to get everybody back together since it's not took a break there, but we'd like to see it. I mean, there are a lot of us that would like to see it come back. I think were you surprised by the following so far of the arc?
Well, so that's just the thing. I mean, I've done a lot of other stuff, and this was going to be the tail end of my answer to your first question about the excitement about the show. Sci-fi fans are a different kind of fan, and it's awesome. It is so cool to see, like, all of these different chat rooms and all these people coming together with these ideas about like why that was like this or how it could be in the future or whatever. Even just listening to your show before I got on yesterday, I was just amazed with the thought process that goes into a lot of this, and it's beautiful. It's so cool, and I've never experienced anything like that with any of the other stuff that I've done. It's really like the sci-fi fans that are so amazing, and that's why there's Comic-Con and like huge get-togethers, and these followings are just incredible.
So there's another income stream.
Are you looking forward to the convention circuit?
I would love to. I've always wanted to go. I've wanted to be in a popular sci-fi for a long time. Really.
As far as we're concerned, you are in a popular sci-fi show.
There we go. Yeah. But I really have been wanting it. That's the cool thing about being in Vancouver is it's such a great backdrop for sci-fi. It's gloomy and gloomy and rainy, and they have such great production potential here. Obviously, I mean it's Hollywood North, right? So yeah. there has been a lot of neat sci-fi.
Well, Vancouver's like the second Hollywood, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's even better for sci-fi because of how the environment is, right? So I've been hoping for something like this for a long time. And yeah, you know what? It's not a hard thing to get the people back together. What happens is if there is a second season, they ship them down. I don't see it being a problem. And who knows?
It's actually whatever. I was just saying, whatever the network says, it gets done.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's just like anything. You book a role and you go for where the work is. And that's kind of the beauty of it too, right? Like when I moved to Serbia 2 years ago, two and a half years ago, I moved, and I wasn't expecting to work there at all. I was going for love. I didn't even know that I would be acting anymore. COVID had just sort of opened a little bit, and there was an opportunity for me to go and be with my partner there where there was less restrictions and we could just sort of live. And, Canada was getting a bit crazy with lockdowns, and my partner is Serbian descent anyways. So he was like, let's go. And when I got there, I thought, okay, well, I guess I don't know what I'm going to do, but I guess we're just going to play it by ear. And then I met this incredible acting coach who had come from New York and was opening up an acting school, and he started helping me with self-tapes. And then I started with his school. I was his first student. It's called TIAS, which is the International Acting Studio, Actor Studio.
That's what it was.
And I
saw that.
Yeah, it's phenomenal.
YouTube. Yeah, I saw that on YouTube. I saw the name. It said TIAS. I thought it was actually Spanish.
Yeah. No, that's Adam Davenport's company. He's a fantastic guy, one of my closest friends. Also was my publicist for a long time too. So that's where I was doing all of these other interviews and whatnot. And, you know, because Serbia was still doing productions when North America wasn't, more production started coming that way. So, you know, there was like Knives Out 2 was filmed there. The Ark was filmed there. Another movie that I'm in that's coming out in May called The Machine, which is Bert Kreischer's movie based on his stand-up routine called The Machine. That was also filmed there. I mean, there's so many big things that are going through there. And like I said, I didn't even know that it was an opportunity for me.
So that country kept things going during the pandemic then?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, like you said, Canada and the United States were shutting everything down for well, anyway, I'm not going to get into that. But yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Yeah. And just like I said, I mean, I wasn't anticipating anything. I thought, okay, well, maybe I'll do some art, or maybe I also had an energy healing business at the time, and I could do some of that remotely. So I was like, okay, maybe this is how I'll make money. I didn't know how I was going to do it. I even said to my agent, like, I'll be in Serbia, I guess, submit me for things if it's going to be like a far time out, because I would have to come back. And this happened a couple of times. I would book a role, but I'd have to come back and I'd have to quarantine. And then I could go and do whatever it was if I had a fitting.
Right.
Was it Canada like a month of quarantine or 2 weeks at one time?
2 weeks. But
to sit around in a hotel room for 2 weeks and just raid the minibar, right?
Well, you could, luckily you could be at home.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I didn't have a home at the time. I had moved everything to Serbia, so I would have to stay at like a friend's, like in a room.
And raid their minibar.
Yeah, exactly. I get them to go shopping, bring home the stuff for me. But I did it a couple of times. We would have to audition for things that were like movies or something where there was at least a 3-week window between the audition time and when they were going to start prep. And then if I got the role, I'd have to go home right away, do my quarantine, and then I could start moving towards doing the actual role. But like I said, I did not think I was going to be acting. And then boom.
Well,
got a bunch of work.
So whatever you believe in, that happened, fate or whatever you want to call it, you know, you were in the right spot at the right time.
Well, everything's always working out for me, and I really believe it. And I say it all the time. And sometimes I forget, of course, like even right now that I've moved back to Vancouver and I don't have a place yet. And I'm only in this place that I'm staying right now for, until Saturday, until she comes back. And I'm like, okay, I got to find a place by then. And, and sometimes I forget that, like, okay, just relax into it. Things will come about. They always do. Don't stress, just relax, go have fun, go do something that lights you up, be on the vibration of joy. And then that same vibration is the same vibration as abundance. And it's the same vibration as finding a place. And it's the same vibration as getting the role, So just trying to remember that, like, easy does it. And then it does, right? So.
Yeah. Michael, do you have a question?
No, I was just, when you said who your agent was, and I go, why does that name ring a bell? And I went, duh, he's the one who set me up with you.
Right. He's not my agent. He's a manager.
Oh, manager, okay.
Yeah, he's a publicist, manager, and he owns an acting school. My agent here, I work with, her name is Melise Kelly. She's fantastic. I've had her for, I'm going to call it 7 years. I could be wrong. I had a few other agents before her. She's my absolute favorite. This girl will send me stuff at like 11 at night. I'm like, girl, what are you doing up? She works so hard. She's with Characters. They actually had their own agency for a while, and they just merged with Characters, which is a great agency here. I also have 2 other agents. I have a UK agent, and they're fabulous. DBA is what they're called. They also have hubs in Spain and in the US and whatnot, so they can get me roles in different places. And I have a Serbian agent as well. Her name is Nevena. She's incredible too, and it's with Slavic Artist Management, and I get roles with all of them.
Well, that's great.
You're set up.
Sounds like you got a good team. for you, Mercedes.
I got such a good team. It's incredible. And, you know, and I've got Frank here, Frank Garcia, who is my editor and does an incredible job. If anybody needs anything like compilation, some sort of demo reel, or you're just not sure how to put some videos together, he's your man. And you can find him on my Facebook. He's one of my friends on my Facebook. So,
and because he is your friend, Frank, let us have your website. We will gladly put it on our program right here. Perfect. And look, folks, we've had an explosion in our numbers on our YouTube channel right now. There's quite a few people watching us, and we are eternally grateful. Let us know who you are, where you hail from. It'd be nice to know who's on with us right now.
And so don't forget to hit that subscribe button.
Yes,
and
likes.
And the notification bell.
Yes, thank you for that, Richard. Yes, you are so right, folks.
That's my only job here.
Huh? Really?
Yes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, that's your only job. I have to remember that.
Right. I had the opportunity to thank you, by the way, for your Instagram. I followed your accounts, and I had the opportunity of seeing your art. And it is amazing. Oh my gosh. I saw the video. I hope we get to play it. I saw how you did that. And I do have a question, but I want people to ask questions about that. But it was amazing. I said, Helena did that? It was just awesome.
How, if we may, how about we go to that video right now? Sure. Michael, do you want to bring it up right now? Or?
I sent a couple or two in.
You sent me two.
Yeah, we have the two. So the one that runs for 141, do you want to set that one up first? Because that's the first one, right?
Yeah, that's that not necessarily. They came in different order. Do you want us to play the shorter one or the longer one first?
Oh, that's what I meant.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Okay.
There is talking because I recorded it for TikTok. So
okay.
There is talking and some explanation, but I'll first just give you a quick download of it. I don't really know half the time what I'm creating, so I will just grab some colors that I feel inspired, or let's say it's for someone specific. They'll kind of tell me what sort of colors they like, and I just start by throwing whatever I feel down on the canvas for the first layer, and I will use different tools to move that around. Sometimes I'll put water and then I'll put some color and I'll see what happens with that. And then as it dries, I'll get an idea of what it might be. These two that I sent are from the same collection, which is a burst collection. So that was already in mind. These ones are from that collection. A lot of the other stuff that I do doesn't look like that, but this is just what I was inspired to do at that time.
Okay, well, let's play the longer one first then. Here we go.
Okay, so now that I put my background layer onto the canvas using the broom that I got from the hardware store, I just started throwing my paint on the canvas. I take acrylic paint, I mix it with water, and I'll do that in a Tupperware, or sometimes I put it in a squeezy bottle and I rub that all over the canvas. Sometimes I just throw it on. As you can see, I get pretty painted. I've got all that stuff in front of me and I'm dipping my knees back and forth into it. So there you have it. When I'm distributing the paint, I use tons of different tools. I have a variety of different size paint brushes. I use putty knives. I use trowels. I use my hands. Sometimes I'll just spray it on with a spray bottle. I like to do lots of different layers. So sometimes I let it dry between layers. Other times I just mix it all together and see what comes about with the different paints combining. But this one, I don't know. I think this is just the first layer after the background. I do add some white and black to add more depth and interest, but I think that once this dries, I'm still going to add a few more layers to get a little more interest.
Wow. Nice. Nice.
So you use a lot of different mediums when you do your painting.
Yeah, I do. I'll use acrylic, typically acrylic paint, but I'll go in with charcoal. I'll go in with pencil. I'll go in with pastels, whatever. Change it all up. I love using golds and other like shimmery things too to give it a little bit more pop. But they're all different. Mm-hmm.
Well, it's a lot different than Bob Ross, that's for sure.
Yeah, yeah. It's how much real time has left?
In the video, yeah.
I think that one was probably about 25 minutes for that specific layer. But I think I ended up doing like 7 or 8 layers. And then I have to wait for it to completely dry in between, or else it just sort of all mushes together. So the end product, I can actually find a picture of the end product of that and show you. It's actually definitely a favorite.
And was this just a training or just a talent that you picked up on?
I went to school for arts. Here we go. I went to. Actually, that's kind of small. There.
Oh, look at that! Yeah, that's the one I saw. That's
beautiful.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Looks like in the end.
Wow.
That looks 3D almost, doesn't it? Just some kind of creature coming out and going to bite your head off.
Yeah, it really does. It's so beautiful in real life. It's absolutely one of my favorites. And I get a lot of requests about that one as well. But to go back to your question, yeah, I did arts in school. Then I had a home decor and painting company for about a decade. And during that time, I also would do oil and acrylic on canvas for my clients if they wanted artwork for their walls. So they would tell me like what they were into, what kind of colors they liked, and I'd create something for them. But that was a long time ago. And I put all of that on hold, or not even hold. I stopped doing it. I stopped painting to focus on acting. And then this past year, I was like, man, I like painting. I should just do some of that. And I found like, just like I was saying earlier, like if you're doing something that lights you up, other things just come about at the same time too. So I started painting again, and then more opportunities in acting happened as well.
How do you get a Mercedes original?
That was the next question.
Yeah, you can just contact me on my Instagram. They're for sale. They vary in price from $600 to up to $3,000. Depending on the size. You can also get a piece commissioned if you like something specific, or you have a specific size that you want. I love doing pieces for people. That's the interesting thing is it's very, like you have to really go with the flow, which is it's very much like acting in a way. That the best acting is when you're just in the scene and you're reacting however it is that you feel, when you don't have anything, a preconceived notion, right? But you're really feeling it. And it's the same thing with the painting. Sometimes I put something down and I'm like, I don't know if I like this, but I'm not creating it for me. I'm creating it for somebody else. And so I just have to go with it. And then the piece that like I think is the awesomest maybe doesn't get the same kind of response that I think. And it's the piece that I don't think, and people like swarm me with messages wanting it. And then I have to say, oh, well, I'm sorry, actually, this was created for someone specific. And then I go to them and I'm like, I don't know. I felt this to do it. And then they're floored. They're like, wow, this is exactly what I wanted. Like, for example, I made something for a friend. Actually, she's in the ARC. Her real name is Jessica. She only has a couple of lines because she's more of a background player, but she has a little afro.
Yeah, she was in the episode 9. She was on the deck when they were talking about the shield. And
yes.
Yes.
And she had a line there that, yes, I think that might have been her only line so far to date. But she's also a brand new actress. She'd never acted before and really wanted to, and started doing that while we were on the show, and started with TIAS as well, the acting school. Anyway, her and her husband, she was getting married, and I never met her husband, and I wanted to make her a piece for her wedding. So I asked her the colors that she liked, and I asked her the shapes that she liked. And then I just started creating. And I first started, she said she liked triangles, some triangular shapes. So I started with that. All of a sudden it turned into a ballet dancer. And I was like, I don't know, like her husband's going to be into ballet dancers, right? And I just went with it. And then I started creating the arms, and they took on a shape of wings. And I was like, okay, I don't know. And I went with it. And the color, I would lay down for a nap or go to bed, and I would have like a vision of something. Like I visualized this red scarf around this dancer's neck. So the next day I painted that. I'll have to find the picture for you. Anyway, long story short, I presented it to them for their wedding, and her husband, like, his face dropped. He has a tattoo of an angel on his arm, and they had to use red because it wouldn't show on his skin. And she has these wings, and it was what I had created was basically that. Wow. In dancer form. So he was floored. She loved it. And it was also, it had this, how she moves just as a human being is she moves really gracefully, and she just sort of reminds me of that anyway. And anyways, I went with it the whole time. I was doubting myself, and then I presented it, and it just happened to be like the best thing ever, and they were blown away. So,
wow.
So it just
You're
goes
a little bit psychic, aren't you?
I was gonna say, when is your psychic deal gonna happen?
Well, you know, with my energy healing business, I used to do a lot of, I guess I would get senses of things, and I would go with that for a lot of it. Sometimes I would get a picture in my mind of something that my client had happened to them when they were younger, or I would hear something, you know, and it would just be something that maybe they thought, and I would just say it. Or I would get a sensation in my body which would relate to something that happened to them. Like this one guy, when I was working on him, all of a sudden my eye hurt so bad. Like I felt like I got punched in the eye. So I started asking him questions. And actually when he was little, he was riding on his bike and went over the handle, and he got a handlebar in his eye. And so it was like I was feeling that. Then I'm able to release it in my body, which would then release it in his. It's a whole other topic.
Wow.
But it's an interesting topic as well. I mean, to get, be that involved in your artwork and just be able to feel in the moment what could happen or should happen. That's pretty interesting. That's very rare in the art world for someone to actually feel somebody else's pain or happiness and then go from there.
Right.
Right. Well, I think for me, I think you do feel it, like when you're acting and you're playing a character, and you'll sense something, like you'll feel their pain, and you're actually crying for them. Like, you know, we do take it on as actors a lot of the time. Some actors work that way, or some actors will take something that was in their own life and then use it as a substitution. And sometimes you don't get to pick, right? You're just in the moment. And it could just be how someone else is responding, right? If you're really in it, if I'm really in a scene with my scene study partner, and they're having an emotion, you feel it, right? And that's good acting. When you're watching something and that person is really crying, that's what makes us cry. That's like, oh, I felt that, you know. That's why, you know, I've never been good at crying on cue. It actually scares the bejesus out of me when they want me to, because I don't know if I'm going to feel that way at that time. How do I know that that's going to make me feel that way? So I don't love that, but I love when I know that I can be vulnerable and I can go to those places, and then maybe the tears come, but maybe it's not on that line.
Yeah, but still, I mean, to try to find a moment in your life which will make you cry is also, you're vulnerable at the same time because of what you're thinking. You're going to a dark place, and you've got to find a way to bring yourself out at some times. You can't just, you know what I mean? I mean, yeah, because actors, you know, you guys or you people go to different places to get different emotions.
Yeah. And it's not always the same every time. Like I have a toolbox, and some tools will work great some days, and then they won't another day. And so it's good. I'm constantly training. I'm always in some kind of acting class. usually working on scenes with different people, trying to do something that's out of my comfort zone. And actually, even I think I was saying yesterday, I did a lot of like the best friend roles for a long time. Like that, you know, that's more who I am in real life. It's just like really loving and a good friend. And, you know, so this Helena Trust thing is like, woo, very different, but so fun. I'm really enjoying it. Yeah.
Yeah, you can see that.
Here's the dancer.
Yes, that's the one I saw. Yes.
Wow.
Right.
So are all these on Instagram? Where can we find copies of your paintings?
Right there,
There at the bottom.
on the link at the bottom.
Oh, I guess well, I'm a guy. I don't pay attention.
You're all right, dude. You're okay. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, you can check out my link. Send me a DM if you're interested in anything, and I can send like prices.
And you ship everywhere
internationally. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is on your Instagram page.
The work of art is a scream of freedom. Yep.
Good stuff. What does it mean to you?
Well, a number of things. So I think being self-expressed is something that I think human beings have a challenge with. You know, we're constantly in this need of approval. There's status quo, you know, should and shouldn'ts, society, parents, teachers, you know, always telling us like how to do and how to be and whatever. And I think when you're creating art, you get to throw that all out the window and you can just do whatever is inside. And that's the beauty about acting. Like, I have to say too, I used acting a lot for my own spiritual journey. I suffered with alcohol and drug addiction for a long time, years back. And acting itself really got me close to my emotions, where I wasn't able to feel those things, or I didn't know how to. And also in acting class, it's really interesting. I mean, you do a lot of like breathing exercises, you do meditation, you do body work, you do like psychological profiles basically on these characters, and you look at their beliefs and you look at what's stopping them from moving forward, and you're dissecting and whatnot. And by doing all of that, like, I became a better version of myself, was able to see, you know, why I was doing the things that I was doing. And I'm a different human being now, and I feel free, right? So I think that there's freedom in the artwork, in the painting, and then there's freedom just in self-expression, which you get to do when you're being somebody else.
So you find it therapeutic?
Yeah. 100%. Yes.
Well, I mean, the short version. Yeah.
Oh, you're writing it up. Yeah, I find it therapeutic.
Yeah. Is there another video you want to show there, Michael?
Yes.
And while he sets that up, I want to give a quick shout out. Thank you for the likes. Author Bobby Nash, thank you for joining us. Elizabeth Olivia Cooper, also thank you for the like. And Tony Konopka. So our sports people and prior guests are joining us, which is really cool. Thank you. Folks, catch Bobby Nash. He's awesome. Sorry, Mercedes.
And I hope Bobby he was behind on the arc, because I asked him to join us and he goes, I'm behind on the arc. I'll just pop in. And yeah, so I'm hoping he'll get caught up by which I'm going to say right now, because I haven't told you yet, Mercedes, we are having a huge end of the season podcast on Sunday the 23rd.
Way to go, Michael.
And we are inviting previous guests and other guests, and we would love you to come too.
Sure.
Well, as a matter of fact,
look at this.
Ryan wanted to be on from the get-go. You know, Mercedes, look, we know you're professional, and we know that your time is finite, and you're always very busy, and you don't know what could happen from one day to the next. And Ryan was so cool about, I said, hey, you're going to have a season finale? I'd like to be there, and he threw it out there. And I think it was like, 4 times, Michael? I kept telling him, look, dude, we know you may not be able to make it. This is a long way off, but he repeated it. And I think Ryan really wants to be there. So obviously there's a big deal on episode 10 that he wants to be there for. So
but this would be episode 12. So
12.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Episode 12. Yes, I was thinking of the next one.
But episode 10 is
12.
a big episode.
What'd you say?
Episode 10 is a big episode.
I love
the
juicy
preview,
tidbits.
dude.
I love,
Come on.
yes. Oh, yes. Arc 15. Yes. And by the way, I just want to.
Shockers.
So maybe on episode 12, Ryan finally gets a kiss.
He got a kiss.
No,
He
he got it last
he
one.
already got
Oh,
a
yeah.
kiss.
Well, okay.
Oh yeah,
maybe-
Kelly got right in there like a dirty.
Yeah,
shit.
that's right. She's really
So, two
she's
things
really
I wanna
blocking Stacy, that's for sure. Or Alicia, that's really.
She's definitely going faster than light.
Yeah, she's
I'm
already got that FTL in her butt.
I'm sorry.
2 things I want to bring up.
Mercedes? What was that?
I'm
Was that
so
Mercedes?
favored.
Oh, wow.
I'm-
Okay, folks. That's absolutely awesome. Do you know if they're on, if all 3, because Alicia was interested as well. So
Stacey,
I
yes.
don't know. Folks, we could just let them do all the talking, which is
Yeah,
what
we'll
you
just
guys
sit
want to hear anyway. So
I wanted to just bring up some things. First of all, thank you for opening up like you did in that last segment. That's awesome. I mean, we are blessed to have you in the acting world, I think.
Oh, thank you.
And just for the fact that you went that deep to talk to us and tell us that, I actually moved me a little bit. So I'm not gonna cry, but I'm just saying that was really cool.
Fire.
I think I actually like Helena Trust now. That was one.
I have a different view. I don't know yet.
And then the other thing I was gonna ask was, and I forgot. But no, it's okay. I was just gonna say, if you were interested in attending, would you be able to provide us maybe some? Oh, that's not what I was gonna ask. It's a shame that the ship did not feature your artwork. That's what I was gonna say.
Oh,
We don't know that yet.
Well, up till episode 9.
right.
So
Maybe
yeah,
you should
it's-
write something
There's
on
no
the wall.
artwork
Oh.
anywhere on that ship.
Oh, okay. Well, there was a question earlier a while ago about will we see Helena in, I believe it was hand-to-hand combat or something. I thought that was kind of cool. There it is. Might we get some more physical action from Helena? Now, knowing what we've seen with her in Trust, that could be it could be a double-edged sword.
Right.
Yes.
You'll see a little something next episode.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, writing these down.
There is, let's say, a dispute.
Oh, that's right. Because if I'm not mistaken, Maddox is introduced.
Yeah, dude, Kelly pulled a gun on them. I just want to know, if I may, forgive me, Mercedes,
Okay.
if I had the opportunity to speak to Helena right now, knowing that woman pulled a gun on you, who are you going to choose, Kelly or Alicia now? Out the airlock. Who goes first?
Easy decision. Kelly's out.
Oh, all right. You have your priorities. Okay, Helena.
You have no idea. I mean, Kelly, she wasn't part of the she wasn't on the bridge, right? She wasn't part of any decision making. She kind of came out of nowhere, right? It isn't out of nowhere for the viewers because you're seeing Kelly, but when did Helena ever meet Kelly?
True.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, I like that. That's cool. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Did you have
That's
something
true.
else, Jag, real quick, or shall we go to the second video?
No, that was it. I just
Okay.
wanted to thank her and that look forward to not only more of the arc, but any more future acting and artist stuff because the world deserves you. So
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Jay.
Before Mercedes starts to cry or something.
no, me. I'm starting to cry.
Start.
I'll
You
start the
already
video.
The onions.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
For this piece, I wanted to stick to neutral tones, but I still wanted there to be some vibrancy and a pop. So how I achieve that is I use some dark neutral tones and light neutral tones directly beside one another, or even on top of one another. The black with the gold and the white really add a little bit more depth and interest.
Cool. I'll show you guys what that looks like in the end too.
Oh, cool. And folks, by the way, while Mercedes is looking for that, on her Instagram page, there are many images that she has on there. It's really, really good stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
I genuinely had no idea, Mercedes.
Me neither.
And being able to do the voyeur thing was really awesome. Oh, wow. Look at that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, folks, what is so sad is we can see ourselves on video.
Yes. It's like
It ruins
Rocket.
the picture, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yes.
It ruins it. Such art, and the rest of us are in that image.
Yes.
It's the reflection. I'm kidding, of course. Go ahead. No, that's a beautiful image. Would you show it again?
This is it.
Yeah,
just
that's the one I saw.
Wow.
Yes.
That's just
What
incredible.
is that, Mercedes? So that image, what is it? What would you say it is? Is it a flower? Is it, well, what? You tell me.
This one actually, believe it or not, was based for the Ark.
Oh.
It's an explosion in outer space.
Oh, that's what
Wow.
Helena sees of Arc 15, right? No.
But yeah, there's other ones in this collection that are based on like floral designs. Like, for example,
Mm-hmm.
hard to show.
Mhm.
But this one, this is more floral. The other one wasn't. That piece was actually outer space, and it was inspired by the Ark.
Nice.
It's probably my art blowing
Piece
up.
as well. This piece as well, which does not look like the others, also inspired by the Ark.
Really?
Yeah.
And what would you describe that as?
Well, it's interesting. It didn't originally. It's hard for me to do this. It didn't originally have all this white around it, which gives it sort of this like milky look
Yes.
around the edges.
Yes.
It was a lot of things. It was like green, and it was large and bright. And then I used all of this white to bring it down. And I can't exactly tell you because it has to do with episode 10.
Oh.
We get it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, don't hold back on our account.
Oh, no. Hold back. Hold back.
Yeah.
Hold back.
And yeah, you might understand when you see episode 10.
Okay.
You realize that we all went off at that moment. We're like, oh, okay, all right. We were already trying based on the
What could it
preview.
mean? Yeah.
And do you know what is cool also? Sorry about that, Jag. Do you know what is cool? And first of all, for those that were not here with us yesterday, and again, shame on you for missing the surprise visit. What genuinely surprised me is that you're watching the episodes when they're live and you have your own watch parties, which is so cool. Anthony, you commented about this a moment ago. Most actors/actresses, and you will educate us on what it is, whether it's actor or actresses, see the roles as just a job, but it's clear you're just much, again, of the show as we are. And that's so cool. Yeah, we established that last night, which was absolutely awesome. You blew us away on that.
Yeah.
So you're going to be watching it.
That when for episode 10, the lead, Christy, who plays Sharon, and Samantha, who plays Kelly, and I will all be in the same room watching it at Sam's house.
That is so cool. And we had mentioned to Mercedes that maybe she will be doing some live tweeting, which is kind of neat. She hasn't done that yet, or not live tweeting. It could be Instagram, where you're, you can do a video on that.
For sure. I'm sure. Well, I don't know if the girls tweet. We'll see if they're into that. I don't know, but we could maybe do an Instagram live. That would be interesting.
Oh, wow.
There you go.
There it is. You'll break
There
the
you go.
internet. What a shock.
Oh yeah. Now I have to get 2 ways to do this stuff because
Yeah, 3
one's on the
beautifully
live feed.
intelligent women. Wow.
Yes.
We win. How do we lose on that? Yeah, no, Anthony, I think we did get it. Yeah.
We followed you, Anthony.
Yeah, we're caught up in the emotion, Anthony. And I hope it didn't come across as we didn't understand. We got it, buddy. And we appreciate
And
that.
we hate autocorrect.
We all hate autocorrect.
I would love to go back to some of those questions that were missed earlier when we were talking. And
Yeah, there was one about the martial arts, and Eddie Rodriguez did have one. Forgive me. There it is, and I put it on screen several times. Did Mercedes have any official matches, or did she just train?
training. No, I haven't had any official matches yet. I would like to do that eventually. I just started training Muay Thai this year. I think I had like a couple introductory courses before. A couple of years back, we spent a couple of winters in Thailand. I can't read these and answer at the same time.
I know. I'm so sorry. Yes.
No, it's fine. It's me trying to do a million things at once. That's normal. And anyway, yeah, a couple of years ago, we spent some time, my partner and I, in Thailand, and I did some introductory courses to Muay Thai, and I thought it was okay. But this year, like, I really got into it, and I got my own Muay Thai instructor, and I was working out this gym in Koh Samui called Success Gym, which is an incredible gym. They have the best equipment. The people that work there are incredible. They're constantly cleaning. It's like immaculate. They recently just built this new room with its own ring, like fighting ring, which looks awesome and then also hard. And actually, if you look on my Instagram, there is some videos of me doing some kicking, kick training, and then also my trainer he's pretty badass. I'll be doing sit-ups, and he'll punt me with like a big glove on my abs as I'm doing my sit-ups.
Oh,
Wow.
So yeah, so I did a lot of that training, and I really loved it. And then we also had a group class on Wednesdays in the early morning, and we would have 2 trainers and then a bunch of girls in a circle, and they would come around, and it's really fun to train it because it also has a lot to do with your mind. So you have to be on the ball because they're telling you what they want you to do next. And they could be using a word, or it could be the way they move the glove. So this is an elbow, right? And maybe he'll put it up and he'll say 2, or sorry, 3, but a 3 is a punch, and a hook. Like it's combinations. So you're constantly like, what's next? You don't know. It could be a kick. It could be your arm. That you could be turning around. You could be ducking. And you have to just be ready for it. So it's neat. Like your body's going, your brain is going. It's the best cardio. It's nice to do it in a group setting though, because you end up getting a break because it's actually really hard, and it's a lot of cardio. I was getting stitches and stuff in my sides, and I realized that I need to drink more water as I say that. So yeah, going back to the question, the answer is no, I haven't done any yet. I would want to train a little bit longer, probably a few years before I got in a ring.
So
Eddie,
are you
thank
working
you, Eddie,
towards
still with
doing MMA at some time?
Would I want to?
No, I'm just like are you working to do MMA? If this acting thing doesn't work out.
Well, okay, so funny story. There was a time where I was like a little bit slow work-wise, and I do love being physical. And so I decided that like maybe a good way for me to get more acting roles is if I did stunts. So I started doing stunt training. And actually I did a stunt on The Flash. I get knocked out and I pass out. And in the audition, it happened in both too. So the first audition, they had just like stunt people, and I happened to be an actor as well. And we had to, I'm walking a dog, and then I see a guy who is infected with this whatever, and then I get infected with it, and I pass out, and then I'm convulsing. Okay. So in the area where we're doing the audition, they had a little rug in the center of the room, and then you have the casting over there and the reader, whatever. And so I'm doing the role, and I pass out, and then I'm starting to convulse, but I missed the rug, and I'm on the concrete. But I really wanted to give it my all, so I'm banging my head against the concrete, like,
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
not knowing I hadn't done a lot of stunt training at that time, like that the sound should be like your hand hitting, not your head hitting, but I didn't know that. So I went full force. And
Oh my.
when I finished, they were like, "Wow, are you a stunt performer?" And I'm like,
Sure.
Yes. Yeah.
Not really, but they're like, "Wow,
Well,
that was really that was."
Well, you showed them that you were devoted.
I was devoted. So then I got a call back, and then I went to the callback, and this was a role, like there was lines in the whole 9 yards. It just happened to have this element in it, and they would have used a stunt performer for it, but I thought I would do it all. So anyways, I go for the callback, and I told them the story about how I was hitting my head, and in this room it was all carpeted, so I didn't have to worry about the concrete. And then there was these chairs, and they were like metal around the outside of them, and they were big and bulky. So anyways, I do the role. Oh, there was also a coffee table there. And I pass out, and then I go to pass out and do the convulsion. And I guess when I passed out, I missed the coffee table by like this. And the director was behind the camera, was like, he just heard how I hurt myself the first time, whatever. Anyway, I didn't hit it. It was close. He thought I did. It was fine. I get the role, and later on, before we filmed it, they decided that they were going to cut the lines. And they said, "Sorry, this isn't a principal role anymore, but we still want Mercedes to do the stunt."
Wow.
So I ended up doing the stunt, and that's what it is on the flash.
Wow.
My head against the ground. And actually, when I went and I filmed the role, we're walking down the street, and there is a sidewalk, and there's grass, and then there's the concrete. And I'm supposed to land on this pad, and then of course I didn't, and I hit my head on the concrete.
Oh.
Wow.
That was the last time I did stunts. I decided
I was gonna
that the whiplash that I had and what I put my body through, my body was like, "We don't like this anymore. Can we just act?" And even the stunt coordinator kept saying to me, like, "Are you sure you want to do stunts? Are you sure?" Like, he asked me a number of times. I'm like, "No, yeah, love it. Love being physical." No.
I was just about to say he had continued. Eat your heart out, Tom Cruise. I was going to say that.
Oh, I still do stunts, but it's not my way into acting anymore.
Yeah.
Let me ask, on your Instagram page, you are doing this. What are you doing there? And it says Santorini, Greece.
Yeah.
What's going on here?
Yeah. Well, I travel a lot.
Yes.
And that's the beauty now about like self-tapes. You can do it from anywhere. This is pottery. I was making a bunch of different bowls, and I think a candle holder, a vase, a bowl, and a plate. And I really wanted to learn how to do it on my own. I had done a lot of pottery as a kid, but I really wanted to get good at it. And so I went to this little place, and the man who was teaching me was like 90 years old. He was old and like just had so many like lines on his face of stories, like it was first thing in the morning, and he was drinking not rakia, that's what they have in Serbia, but whatever they normally drink in Greece. I can't remember what they call it, but it's like a heavy liqueur. So he was drinking that. He's trying to get me to drink. Of course I did, because while in Rome or while in Greece. And then, we created these pieces. And then I shipped them back to Serbia, and it took me about a month and a half or 2 months. Finally, they came through, and they were all broken. I was devastated.
Oh, no.
Because it got sent back and forth. It's so hard to get stuff shipped to Serbia. They hold everything at the border. They want to charge you a bunch of import tax, even if it's like something you made. It's a super challenge being there. They also don't have Amazon. You can't order things like we do here. So if you want
Really?
something, you got to go to the store. You got to find it. You know, there's some things you can order online, but imagine a life with no Amazon.
Oh my God,
Wow.
Mercedes,
Yeah.
you were back in the Stone Age.
Yeah.
How did you
I
handle
I
it?
can't even process that.
I know. What?
What are you talking about?
No,
I've been he-
don't.
I've been hearing a bunch of folks on the arc saying that the food is good, though. Did you enjoy the food?
Absolutely.
I heard. Yeah.
I was there already. I was already there. I was already living there. I tried to learn Serbian. It's very challenging. It's a super challenging language. You know, they have something called like potager, and there's like certain endings depending on if it's female or male. You know, you have to conjugate whatever, and it's like, okay, yeah, this is always the way it goes, except for all the times that it's not. So
Right.
you think you understand how it's going to be, and then it's just not the same. So yeah, that was really hard. Also, my husband or my partner, we're not married,
Yes.
but
Yes.
he will. Did I clarify that earlier? Well, it's because
Yes,
you
you did.
my husband on the show. I'm also not married to him. Well, I am in the
That's
show.
right.
Uh,
I was writing that down. I was like, what? They're not married? No. Just kidding.
whoa, backstory. But my boyfriend would say something to someone, and I would maybe try to repeat it. But because he's a male, he can say that, but I can't say it. So I couldn't even repeat what he was saying to learn. It was just, ugh. It was a lot. But being there, that was one of the first things that I really loved is the food. The people also so welcoming. You know, they may not have a lot of money. Like I think probably the average income is about $500 a month, euros.
Wow.
A month.
Wow.
Like a teacher makes that 500 euros a month. So, you know, they don't have a lot, but they'll give you anything that they have. They'll have you over for dinner and they'll make you the nicest meal and make sure that you have rakia, which is, you know, the liqueur that they have as an aperitif, or, you know, maybe they'll drink it all night, whatever.
Wow.
And they'll do that, and they love their music. That's something also I couldn't quite get into. To me, because I don't speak the language, it all sounds the same. They could probably say the same thing about my music, I'm sure. But that was always like, my partner he had this like box that would play. When I say box, it was something that went on the TV, and he'd be able to get channels from wherever. And he would play this Balkan music. And this was even before we moved there. And I'm like, oh boy, okay. It's nice. I tried to like it. It got better as I lived there, for sure. And, you know, you start understanding it and hearing more songs that you might, you know, recognize. But that's the thing, is if you go to one of their, my dog is jumping on me here. If you go for dinner and they want to play their music, these guys will have, you know, a band basically with them. You ask them to play any song and they know every single song, like thousands and thousands of songs. And then everyone gets up and dances. You know, it's such a great vibe. And the food is phenomenal. Like when I say phenomenal, I mean the produce, for example. You know, you get these tomatoes and they're like, no word of a lie, the size of your face. And they just have so much flavor in them. Like nothing like we could get at the grocery store here. Speaking of music, what are you into? Well, not Balkan music, but everything but. No, I do. I do enjoy it a little bit. I grew up in Alberta. I don't love country, but I like country. My dad and I used to sing, or he would play the guitar and then I would sing when we had company over, and it was always country music. So I'll listen to a bit of that. I really like chill music. Like just when I'm at home, I'll listen to something really relaxing. But my all-time favorite is gangster rap.
Really?
Like dirty gangster rap. I really like it.
Oh wow!
Oh, yeah.
I would have never guessed.
I don't know.
Right.
I grew up in, you know, the 90s, 80s, 90s. And when rap, like, you know, it became a really big thing. And I lost myself in rap music. And I had this best friend of mine. She could never remember the songs. And I'm really good at that. Like I'll hear a song and I'll know all the words. And so I would spend time writing out rap songs for her. And then I would give her the page and like, next time, bring this home, study it. Because it drove me crazy that she would say like all the wrong words or not be able to sing it at all.
So you are a rapper. You've written lyrics.
Well, I didn't write the lyrics. I just wrote them down.
Oh, okay. You just wrote them down. That was good. Anthony says, didn't expect that. Eddie is, I'm shocked. Anthony shared just a moment before that Rush. So out of curiosity. Oh, and Eddie now says Snoop Dogg or LL Cool J.
There you
Cool
go.
J.
There
Yes.
Yeah.
So now it's like Snoop Trust or something. I can just see Elena trying to rap. Oh
funny.
man.
Character decided it wouldn't make sense almost, which would be awesome.
Yes. That would be hilarious.
Yeah.
By the way, we were talking about the Mai Tai earlier. That's why William is afraid of Helena.
No. Muay Thai. Mai Tai.
Yeah.
There we go. This is what I like about you. You school us. You school us.
Well, I heard it before and it cracks me up. You and your Mai Tai. I'm like, no, I never drank today.
Yeah.
Zevia.
There you go.
Zevia, yes. Once again, folks, want to thank Mercedes on being with us right now. That's Michael over in the end. That's Richard. That's Jag. You see their names. And I'm 47. We'll keep it at that. Folks, in the chat room, let us know who you are and where you hail from. We appreciate the comments. Elizabeth came back with another one.
Tupac,
baby.
That's exactly where it all started. Tupac Shakur.
Yeah.
That guy, oh man.
Oh, really? So it was for you, huh?
Yeah.
Wow. So do you believe?
This energy about him, and he had like just that smile and that laugh. Like, that's where it started.
You definitely went too early, right?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
That's
even for myself, not being into that as much, I would listen and I could appreciate that the man was talented.
Oh yeah.
Yes, he was.
I said it wasn't my thing, but wow. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. He was talented.
That's the funny thing.
Did you like Eminem?
Jake
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt about that. But there was a question. What was that, Richard? Do you like what?
Eminem.
Oh, hey, Elizabeth. There you go. Body wasn't bad either. I think we're still talking about Tupac.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eminem,
Well.
sure.
Yeah.
That's the interesting thing about rap. Like, people might look at it in sort of like a negative way, or like, oh, it's garbage. Like, but if you listen to some of the lyrics, like it's poetry. If you actually read it and you see what's behind it, I would say it has a lot more depth than like pop music for sure. I mean, it would depend, obviously. I don't want to, that's a gross generalization. I'm sure like there is some pop music that has a lot of depth, but there just seems to be a lot of soul in a lot of that rap stuff, especially when they're, talking about experience and life and struggle and, which I guess most music is.
It is.
Yes, it is. Is there anything art-wise that you could give us a peek at right now? Something that you're that you're working on right now?
A piece that I'm working on?
Yeah. Is that possible, or maybe not?
I'm working at finding a space, actually. So
okay. Yeah, you did say that.
I looked at there's a live work art studio space in Vancouver in Railtown. That's Gastown area. Which has a lot of like transient people, and there is a lot of like alcohol and drug addiction and stuff that you see in that area. So it's a little bit, but it's also has lots of character. And I went and saw a place today, which was kind of cool. I could live there, and it had this beautiful art space that I would be able to create in. I'm still not 100% sure. So if anybody has any ideas, I'm also just looking for space. that I could maybe go and do that. The thing is as you saw in my videos, I need a big space on the floor, right? I'm not using an easel. I'm not sitting, you know. And so the space, I would like to do a few pieces at one time so that I can make a collection. But that being said, it needs to be decent square footage.
Big, yeah.
Ish, yeah. So I'm actually looking for that first, because the pieces that you saw there and the ones that I have currently on my Instagram were inspired by Thailand and then the projects that I had just finished. Oh yeah, there you go. These are also, these are smaller pieces that I did on paper. And as you can see too, there's a very like space-like element to them as well.
Yes.
These ones are smaller. I don't even think I have these here. I think they're on Serbia. But I wanted to start a new collection now here in Vancouver. And I wanted it to be in conjunction with the release of the arc and the energy that would be behind that. So now that I've done like, you know, this interview and I've had some, you know, more energy around the show, it'll be interesting what will be created around that. Because I do feel like a different sort of sense of community and support, which is very different from how I felt in Thailand when I was there on my own, taking a break, you know.
Interesting. I don't know if it was asked before. I recognize De La Cruz. Do you speak Spanish?
Well, actually, I do not well anyway. I mean, I know a few words. My mom lives in Mexico and even her Spanish is terrible. She's not Mexican, but my legal name is not De La Cruz.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so this is my stage name, which I created. Actually, my partner created it. The backstory is this. My mom was married at 18, divorced at 22, let's call it, to a guy named Glenn Gendron. After she was divorced, she never saw him again. But she was using the last name Gendron for business, for her career. So my mom's name is Star Gendron, Starlee Gendron. When she had me with someone, Terry is his name. I think Terry McKay or something like, I'm not even really sure on his last name, but he wasn't going to be the man that she stays with, if you know what I mean. So she wanted to raise me separately from him. She gave me her first husband's last name, which was Gendron. So I'm born with the name Mercedes Cassandra Gendron. Lovely. But no one in my family has that name. It does not mean anything at all to any of us. She doesn't even know the guy. She doesn't even know where he lives. I was adopted by a man named Larry O'Hara. He was in my life since I was 6 months old. And he's like the greatest human being on the planet and galaxy, let's say.
Yes.
And he raised me like, just like I was his own. And his last name is O'Hara. So my legal name is Mercedes Cassandra Gendron O'Hara. It's a bit long and no one can remember it. So I wanted to come up with something a little bit different. Also, I'm not an O'Hara. I'm not Irish, as you can see. I do have a very big mixed background of a lot of different things. That's why I have like the olive skin, and there is some Spanish and there is some French and there is some Middle Eastern and Moroccan and Jew. I don't know how that works, but that's what it said. And I wanted something that was a good depiction of how I look. Also, I was the director's assistant for a show called The Detour. And it was this really funny comedy that I worked on, I guess, for a season. And the director, showrunner, writer was like, Mercedes, if your last name was Mendez, you'd work all the time. And I said, well, Mercedes Mendez, I don't know if I like that. But then I took that into account and I thought about it. And I came up with a name that was a better depiction like that. And I wanted something that had sort of a middle as well as an end. I like having a middle name. So we came up with Mercedes de la Cruz, and what it means is of the cross.
Of the cross.
And, yeah, and for me, that has a lot of feeling, I guess. My spiritual journey has always been something that's very precious to me, and not necessarily, God as being in the church, but Jesus, for example, is a pretty cool dude, and he was never, the one to promote the church. It was always the church is everywhere, and he was on the cross. So, Mercedes de la Cruz.
I love these little backstory tidbit things. This is awesome. Yeah.
And
thank you.
notice everyone in the chat room is silent.
Quiet.
No comment.
Quiet.
Now, I do want to point out something. I'm not embarrassing him because he did a wonderful program on it. But you have kindred spirit here, Mercedes, and that is Michael. He was also adopted.
Ooh,
and he told his story on air on our program. We were so humbled him sharing, and you now sharing. There's a bit of symmetry right here.
Wow. Do you
That
know
is
your
awesome.
parents? Do you know your natural mom or dad?
I do now. Yeah.
Interesting. Well,
Yeah,
I have
met-
been
I-
with my
yeah,
dad.
I met my birth mother when I was 33. And I sadly didn't get to meet my birth dad because he died before I found out who he was. So
Oh,
but
wow.
I've met my half siblings. So
Wonderful. Yeah, that's
So-
something I would like to find. I have looked for my dad like when I was younger, and I've done a little bit here and there. Like even with 23andMe, I've reached out.
Oh,
to
you have.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's how I kind of.
Did you try Ancestry?
No. didn't.
Do Ancestry. That has 10 to 20 times as many people on it.
Okay.
Because I did 23andMe and didn't get very far. I found one close relative on 23andMe, and that was it on my dad's side.
Interesting.
But I found a lot more people on Ancestry that helped me piece my family tree together. So
Oh, great.
I would suggest if you're really thinking about it, try Ancestry.com with their service.
Oh,
And
great.
ladies and gentlemen, let me interrupt again rudely, but this one is important to all of us here on Trekking Across the Universe. As you know, we broke a record on March 28th, 2023 with a guest. We call it Running the Gauntlet. Stacy Reed was on with us for 2 hours, 7 minutes, and 39 seconds. We are now at 2 hours, 8 minutes, and 19 seconds. Mark, wow. I went quiet at the hour 50, and I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe it. I cannot believe what we're doing. And that is amazing. Now, we're on your time, Mercedes. We are. So, but I do want to say now a little bit more symmetry where I come in on that conversation. I am using DNA because I found out, well, I grew up always wanted to have a sister a year older or a year younger than I. And lo and behold, I find out somewhere in my teens that there is a sister. And now I'm doing the DNA search. It's half sister on my father's side, and I'm trying to find her, and that's why we're doing it. So it's a tiny triangle, if you will, on this setup right here. Linda says she was adopted. Linda, thank you for sharing that with us. This is really cool. But I'm blown away, Mercedes, because it's almost unfair. You are on for now almost 2 hours, 10 minutes, and even yesterday you were slumming it with us as well.
That's right. Now, do we get to add that one to this one?
Oh, look at that.
Oh, well, if we do that, I think you're on for 2 hours and probably 50 minutes.
Yes.
Yeah.
If we count that. Now, if you want our on video, no one can beat that. But as a personal all-time actor, John Billingsley from Enterprise, True Blood, and many movies, 2012, and many, many things. He has been on a combined, let's see, an hour and a half. Let's see, that's 4.5 hours. And I easily 6 hours over the years. So, yes. But you are now, oh, man, I'll have to do the math and it's tax season. Damn it. Anyway, Mercedes, you are up there in the top 10 already in just these 2 episodes.
Perfect.
What does that win you? A certificate.
Ooh, did I hear that right?
Oh, no, what?
I thought I heard, I don't know if I heard that right or not. Did I hear that right, Mercedes?
Yeah.
You say you're going to come to our last show of the season?
Absolutely.
She did say that.
Wow.
Okay.
All right.
I'll have
So
to put you on the list then.
So that'll be a 9-hour show now?
Oh, stop it. No. Actually, it's a 9-hour if Stacy's also able to join us and we have Ryan and Mercedes. We're just going to have to listen to them.
Yes.
Oh, my God. Could you imagine if we actually had the permission to play the episode and they could do a voiceover?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
we
won't be able to do that. We will not. But it would be so awesome. I'm sorry, Mercedes. I cut you off.
I said, what episode would we choose? The final episode?
Next one. Season finale.
I think it would be the season finale, but
the season finale.
It would be so cool if that could be done. But hey, who knows, folks? Maybe it can be done if we synchronize our videos and we just don't play video. But hey, you know what? That's another thing for another day. All kidding aside, look at all this commentary. Great interview. It's a conversation, Eddie. Thank you. And I don't think you've ever had conversations like this, have you?
No.
That's Helena right there, right? Or Elena.
Helena. No.
Yeah, Helena. Yes, I'm sorry. I can hear that voice.
I love that look.
Yeah, hell yeah. That is so cool.
I love it.
I would have a question on the stuff. Is there something that you were able to bring to one of the episodes or some of the episodes that was
we lost Roger again.
We lost Roger for a second.
All right, I'll come back.
Okay.
I think he said, is there something we can look forward to in future episodes or in future? I think that's where he was going with it.
He was trying to get around that NDA is what he was
trying to get around the NDA.
He was trying to say it right.
Well, while I'm here, do you have something currently? Are you working on something beside the ARC that we need to look out for that you're allowed to say?
Oh, I think you did say
I'm
that.
on hold.
Sorry, I missed it.
I'm on hold for a project in Croatia, actually. And so, funny story. I auditioned for this role, and it's based on a true story about motocross and a real person that died doing a motorcycle race. And the movie itself is all about that, all about going from, I don't want to say rags to riches, but kind of that sort of idea. And the role that I auditioned for was also a motorbike racer, real life person as well. And she was also like a heiress. And in the scene that I auditioned, we're trying to get him to come work for our brand. Okay. Anyways, they liked the role. They asked me to do a callback audition, which when I got the callback audition, I actually got into a motorbike accident that day and couldn't do it right then because I was laid out. And so it was like really fitting. I had to wait a few days. Like I think I waited 4 or 5 days until I started feeling better. And then I did the callback audition. But you can even see part of my arm. It's like this was like hamburger meat there.
Ugh.
Part of my chest was like that. My lip was swollen. My hips, some bruised ribs, bruised hip. Did something to my ankle. Anyways, like that's
so
what
much
happened.
More than the Flash, then.
What's that?
Much more than the Flash.
Yeah. Well, and this one wasn't anticipated, but that's what happens in Thailand. And of course, I wasn't wearing a helmet. You know, I was wearing like booty shorts and a tank top. So that was a bit silly, but it's almost like a rite of passage if you're going to be living in Thailand. Like, you got to get into some sort of bike accident. So,
Yeah.
so I did. Anyways, I ended up getting the role. I think. Anyways, I'm on hold for it. We're still waiting to find out.
And I know you said you're on the machine that's coming up, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I don't know if you guys know anything about Bert Kreischer and the Machine, but there's a stand-up routine that like basically broke the internet. It's one of the biggest watched or downloaded or looked for, searched stand-up routines. And Bert Kreischer, he's a really funny guy from the US. He actually has a Netflix special. So, excuse me. Oh, Zevia. Anyways, he has a special, and he's this comedian that never wears a shirt. So he's kind of like a bigger guy, never wears a shirt. The stand-up routine is all about him in college, and he wasn't a great student, wanted to get some grades, thought he was going to take Spanish, gets to this class, after like 4 classes, realizes it's not Spanish and it's Russian. So he's trying to ditch the class, but the teacher needed him to have, or needed a certain amount of students for the class to go forward. So she offers to give him like a C if he stays, and he thinks that's a great idea. See, you know, that's a pretty high mark for him. So he takes like 4 years of Russian and still didn't know any of it. Ends up taking this exchange trip to Russia. And it's all about like his trials and tribulations of being there. The teacher, he goes with the whole class to Russia, and they actually have these Russian gangsters that will help them, because this is like in the 90s, right? So it was very dangerous there. And these Russian gangsters kind of like help move them through the cities, you know, like make sure that they're safe and whatever. And you're not supposed to hang out with them or talk to them. And right away he was like, well, that's going to be my best friend. I didn't really want to listen to that. Thought that was so cool. Tries to go and talk to this Russian gangster, and he had these like ideas in his mind of like what he would say. Gets to the door, knocks on the door. The Russian gangster opens it. He's like stunned, doesn't know what to say. All he can think of is, "I'm the machine." The guy's like, "What? Come in here and tell the rest of the guys in this room what you just said." So he says to the guys, and he walks into this room of like all Russian gangsters and tell them what they said. Tell them what you said. And so again, he's like, "I'm the machine." And they thought he was hilarious. And he would just stay with these guys and go toe to toe with drinking vodka and this and that. And then he gets on a train and he ends up like listening to these guys and stealing, like going, it turns into this huge fiasco. Anyway, backstory. This apparently happened. This is part of his stand-up routine. I end up playing his teacher. That's what I played in the actual movie. Side note, Mark Hamill from Star Wars, his dad. So for all of you Star Wars fans, and what the whole movie is about is 20 years later, him and his dad get abducted for something that he stole on that train when he was whatever, a kid 20 years before. And now they're trying to get themselves out of it. So they have the young version of him played by Jimmy Tatro, and then Bert playing himself. So I'm in the younger version, playing with Jimmy, who's supposed to be Bert, his teacher. And then you see flashbacks of it going back and forth. It's supposed to be really funny. Joe Rogan is one of his best friends. So this is another story. There was supposed to be a release about it like over a year ago. However, when the war with Russia started, Warner Brothers was like, we're not going to release this. So they've had it on hold. I filmed this before I filmed The Ark. Okay. This is like over 2 years ago. And it should have been released like almost right away. But this is what happened with the Russian war. So they put it all on hold. Well, Bert was getting a little antsy. He's really wanting to get it out. He gets on the Joe Rogan show and he leaks the trailer.
Oh, wow.
So they had no choice.
Well, people like they were the people spoke, you know, they saw the trailer. There was so much hype around the movie even beforehand because of this machine stand-up routine was already so popular. So finally, Warner Brothers, like, their arms were twisted, and they're doing a movie release Memorial Day weekend in May.
Wow.
That's awesome.
This
That's
is
great.
cool.
So
Yeah.
that's going to be in
Definitely look out for
theaters.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't know if it's
Actually,
going to be in theaters or streamed. I don't. You never know these days.
That's right.
It was produced with Legendary Pictures, so they did like Godzilla and The Hangovers, and it's a very big production company. And actually, right now in theaters, you can see the preview, which I'm in.
As a matter of fact, the link that I posted, folks, that is the trailer. And yes, she's in it. Yep, that is the trailer. So if you want to check it out, that is cool. I wish we could play the trailer right now.
If we
but,
do, we get our thing cracked.
Yeah, and
I think
banned.
We could get copyright. I don't know.
Oh, well, it's funny. Some things you do get away with. Oh yeah, it's all automated now.
Should be public use or whatever you want to call it, but instead, YouTube doesn't know anything about fair use, so we can't take a chance.
No, they don't.
No, we've had episodes deleted by YouTube or Facebook before when, like, we were showing some an actor's.
Oh my God, we were showing. Yes,
to promote him and the film
and the movie.
And we got zapped and the episode was pulled.
Usually on Facebook. Yeah, usually on Facebook that happens. Yeah. YouTube is a bit more lenient, but even then they'll come back later. It's always Facebook, almost assuredly, right now.
Yeah.
So it's better to be safe.
Unless Warner Brothers approves your trailer use in this show, but that's still a gamble.
Yeah, because sometimes the automatic things get you anyway. So.
Yeah, we just play it. We play it safe, but then again, you're held in a trust. You own the world.
Yeah, right. I play by my own rules.
That's right.
Yeah, you do.
Yes, you do.
That is so cool.
Oh, that is awesome.
We are definitely looking forward to that.
Do we have any more questions that we can address?
Folks, anything in the chat room?
I know Frank asked me for a funny story. I think I told a couple. But
quite a few. Yeah, you did quite a few.
Did. I don't know if there are any other questions. There were quite a few. We were able to get to many of them.
Yeah.
But in the chat room, folks.
Last call.
Yeah, this is going to be last call. Yeah,
because I'm going down my list, and you covered everything here. So
you did a couple Christmas movies. Is that for Hallmark?
Eddie's watching the trailer. Eddie, you can hear my voice first. Is Helena still alive at the end of episode 12?
Wait and see.
Wait and see.
Okay, she's not able to comment on that, but look, both nights she has said she's looking forward to a season 2. Doesn't know, but she would appreciate a season 2. I don't think she said she's looking forward, but any professional wants a season 2. So.
Well, Roger, you got to remember too, as we've established, she is a huge fan of the ARC. So we really don't know.
Yeah, she's topped me as being the top fan of the ARC. So I'm.
That's a tad arrogant.
Yeah.
Well, see, that's my number one.
Oh, that's right. Yes, number 1. That's right.
When you watch the episode, like you said, you were going to watch the episode. I do have this question. When you were watching the episode, like episode 9 again, do you watch it as a viewer or do you watch it as critique?
Usually the first time I watch it, I'm super hard on myself.
Yeah.
So, I don't love how I look on this show, to tell you the truth.
Oh, you look great.
Yeah, but that's just how I feel about it. I'm used to also doing something a little different, right? Like, with the girl, with the best friend and stuff, and Hallmark lights things very differently than this show does, right? Also, they wanted us to be really natural. I'm not really wearing makeup, which is great. I don't need a lot of makeup, but I just found that whatever they used on my skin made it look really uneven. So I don't love that. The outfit that I'm wearing in the episode, like the white one, it was a pain in the ass. It's so when I have to go to the bathroom and I'm all mic'd up I can't just lift it and go. It was such a pain. So I didn't like the outfit. Everyone complimented me on it. They said it looked great on me, but it was just such a pain. So and then funny story, as a parting gift at the end of the season, they gave me the outfit.
Really?
And my friend she's fantastic. Oh my gosh, I just totally got a brain fart. The costume designer is a dear friend, and she created everything on the show. She came up with the suits, right? How they're, they're not big and bulky. They use a different technology, right? And so she came up with all of that and came up with all of the costumes. And I had some really neat flashback costumes that we were using, going back and forth with and stuff. And she's just so clever. And I had lots of other outfits that I really, really, really liked. I was hoping for those, but then I got the onesie. But that's okay.
Well, so are you telling us that you're going to wear that on the 23rd of April?
Oh, dude.
Wow. I would love to, but it's in Belgrade, Serbia right now.
Oh,
yeah, but I heard there's UPS, FedEx. There's.
Oh my God!
Goodness.
I just thought it was so funny when they gave me the outfit. I was just thinking, like, how weird and like fun and crazy would that be if I walked around town in that when it's like all I wear on the show.
But I heard it was hot on the set. So was that a cool outfit to wear, though, in terms of comfort?
Yeah, it was good. I didn't find the set too hot because it was indoor. I mean, it was summer and it was really hot outside, but in there it was a big studio.
Oh,
so
okay, yeah.
I'm actually like more cold normally. I run a little more cold. So I felt a little bit chilly, and I wore my big fluffy robe between takes over that thing. I think I was the only one. But it was definitely an interesting thing to wear because it's very different from what everyone else is wearing on the show, right? Yes. So it really stands out. And then what you see too is like after we leave the cryopods, Helena really thought about everything. She brought those capes, which were like
the robe. Yes.
And me and my husband had these very like, I would say royal robes.
Yes.
And that was to separate us, from the rest. And she thought about all of that. She got those made,
mm-hmm.
so that her and her husband could keep their elite status, knowing that everyone was going to be wearing the same thing. So that's another little thing about her is her attention to detail is like super key.
Yeah, Helena doesn't have friends. She has minions.
That's true.
Well, she's got one friend who's backstabbing her right now, so that's
true.
Eddie, sorry for that, but Eddie says the trailer looks insane.
Probably
and also Mark Hamill looks like he's having a blast in it. And
thanks for watching, Eddie.
Yeah, that is cool. Now, Marsha is referring to the images. Oh, yes. Marsha. All you needed were crowns.
Oh, yes. I know. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but I gave her, like, when she's walking, she has her hands in, like, a certain position. And it's like, it's sort of like this. And that's something I came up with for the character. It kind of looks a little bit like this.
Yes.
And it's almost the division between her and others. Also, it gives sort of her this feeling of status. And if you were to go like this, it would be a crown. So.
Yes.
That's where it came from.
So you just answered a question that I was going to ask you about. Is there anything that you were able to add to the character that was not there? Obviously, that was one of them. That is cool. That is neat. It's so subtle. And for many other fans, I don't know, there were comments. I don't know if you've seen it or not, but it's similar what you were wearing to another program, Battlestar Galactica. And some people said it was an homage, but they looked great. I did not catch that, Mercedes, that you were doing that, but I did catch the smugness. So for me, it was like, yeah, I get that. It was good. That I got. That was a good point.
You're walking again. Well, and I don't know if you will. You'll have to look back in the other episodes. But when she's walking into a room or down the hall or whatever, she's always like that. Yeah.
And then just increased the playback views.
Yeah. I'm gonna rewatch.
Everyone's gonna go back.
But then in the room, when your character says you were expecting a parade, you were expecting, that kind of a perception, and you were stuck in a secured room. That was also,
She was floored. She could not believe it. Just like I said, I mean, she came there believing that she was going to have help from these other high-ranking officers, that she would be part of the elite of the ship, right?
That's right, because she gets up and she's asking for Ingram and Trent.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Bingo. And then also, she didn't think that she would be awake on the ship. I mean, it would be 2 weeks before they made it to their destination. None of this stuff made any sense to her. She thought they were going to get there, and then William would become the
leader.
The leader, yeah, exactly. And that she would be the queen, basically.
That's right.
Yeah.
Is there a moment, and I suppose this would be my last question, and I'm sorry, Mercedes. I think we're taking too much of your time. Yeah, we are. Mercedes, is there anything that even surprised you? Because I know you were getting the scripts as you were filming, but is there something that you can say through episode 9 that you were like, oh, I was not expecting this about my character, or maybe not even the character, but the storyline? Is there something that got you?
I wasn't expecting her to sit in that chair.
Oh,
yeah. That was so fun to shoot.
I bet, yeah.
And she did lots of different takes of it, like different ways that she would take the chair, and how, like, expressions that she would make, and just
expecting pomp and circumstance.
Because
that was,
and it was just so badass. And the director that did that episode, actually, she did 2. I think it was 9 and 10, or 10, 8 and 9. Anyway, she's lovely. She really wanted me to, like, own that power, she's a really powerful woman herself. And and I just, like, yes, like, wow. You idiots back there.
Hey, when you said that was Helena's voice.
Yes.
You idiots.
Idiots. Yes. It's just a chair.
It is. It's just a chair. That was really good.
Just a chair.
Ladies and gentlemen, I know we're infringing upon our time now. We did, we're all tired. We've been at this for a long time. We're over 2 hours, 33 minutes. I wasn't expecting this. Genuinely, I was not. You've blown us away yet again. And I look forward to seeing that movie. I'm going to go see it myself in May. And I cannot wait to see the depth that you've given this character. The writing is great when you have, it's awesome when you have great writing and you can do what you're doing with the character.
Yes.
It is so awesome. We cannot wait to see. We are your fans. We're following you, and we cannot wait humbly to speak with you again in the future. And
right. Thank you.
You are a team player. And maybe we can talk about the time you were a Molson Canadian girl.
Well, you know what? I did a lot of modeling, which is funny.
You did.
I'm not big. Big. I'm not tall. I'm 5'4". I'm just a tiny girl. But I ended up doing a lot of print modeling and bathing suit modeling, believe it or not, like Hawaiian Tropic pageants and all of that. I was Miss Hawaiian Tropic. And then, Molson Canadian is it's a big beer in Canada. And I'm on their poster, and I did a lot of print modeling for The Brick, which is a furniture store. And I mean, I don't even know. I can't even remember all the stuff that I did, but it was bizarre. I never thought that I would model. I thought as a kid, I thought I wanted to be a model, and I wanted to be taller, and I would actually hold the post of my bed and get my mom to pull my legs. I don't think it worked, or maybe it did, and I would have been shorter. I don't know, but that is a true story. That did happen. And then, yeah, I kept getting modeling gigs, and I would travel and do stuff, and it blew my mind that it was even a possibility. And then now I see, you know, like with Instagram and whatever, and models are way different than they used to be. You had to be like, you know, nothing under 5'6" and like this thin, and like I'm petite, but I'm not. I have more of an athletic body. So, you know, I was a dancer for all my life. I've got the dancer's legs, and you know, I'm strong, but I didn't have that wafy frame, and it just ended up working out. And then nowadays, there isn't really like a cookie cutter model look anymore, which I find really beautiful. You know, you see all different sizes and shapes and colors, and it's really nice to see. Even Lucy.
Hi.
Yes, Lucy Lou. Hey, folks.
I think your dog wants some attention.
Yes, I
no
think
doubt.
so.
Yes. Now, folks, get this. I want to end it for Mercedes this way. Sally Kirkland said about you and to you, you're a great actress. Now, let me say this. Screw that. You're a great person.
Yes.
You're awesome.
Wow.
And thank you for sharing everything that you did with us today. You steadied and saw the gauntlet through. Mercedes, thank you, thank you, thank you. Everyone in the chat room, look at that. Good night, everyone. Marsha, thank you so much for sharing so much of yourself with us. And Mercedes, thanks so much for showing up these 2 nights for us. Yes, wow. Yeah, I'll just keep repeating it. So we're good. Young lady, we can't wait to see what you do. And we look forward to seeing you on screen. Much success. And yeah, we're following you.
We're following you.
Thank you guys so much. I really enjoyed speaking with you. I love the comments, the questions. I look forward to what you guys think of episode 10, and seeing you on the 23rd for the finale.
Yes. Confirmed.
Wow, there it is again. Yes.
That will be 11 a.m. your time.
Okay.
Because we're moving it up so the people in the UK can be on reasonable hour for them.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
All right.
There it is. Mercedes, thank you. You can just
hit
the X to go. And Lucy Lou, thank you. Good night, Lucy Lou.
Bye, Lucy Lou.
Oh, look, she got all excited. That is so cool.
That is awesome.
We're going to finish up. Thank you, Mercedes.
Thank you, Mercedes.
Thank you.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, there it is. Michael Day does not like airlocks. Wow.
That was
wow. Just phenomenal.
She was on 2 hours and 30 something. That's amazing.
37 minutes. That is crazy. On a personal note, back on April 3rd, 2010, I was in Las Vegas, and we were doing sports talk with the guys from the Golden Gate Hotel. I'd like to show everyone the picture. I thought it was a bit tacky, so I didn't want to say this when Mercedes was on, but there we are. For those of you that know, actually, this is not the Golden Gate. This is Binion's in Las Vegas. And there's my co-host, the big dog. I took the picture. And those ladies are the dancers and pit women that serve the guests on the casino floor. And I'm thinking, what great symmetry. Beautiful women there. We had another beautiful woman tonight. And not only is she beautiful, incredibly intelligent. And like I said, she's a real human. So I was a lucky bastard on April 3rd. I hope it continues. Damn it. It's only April 3rd. Anyway, it's all good. Gentlemen, do you have any final thoughts? So we'll go to Michael last. So Jag real quick, and then Richard, and then Michael. Michael can take us away because Jag doesn't know what that means.
Oh, I don't.
You do now.
I do now. Go ahead. Oh, I just want to plug real quick the After the Arc. Don't forget to watch After. I got to plug that. That's a necessity after you watch the episode this Wednesday or whenever you happen to watch it. Don't forget to go to the After the Arc to get the last behind the scenes. And then we're going to look forward to our coverage on Sunday of episode 10. And we're going to be doing that every Sunday for the previous episode that airs up until the end of season 2. I'm sorry, season 1. I'm already thinking it's going to be season 2. And then we're going to have our party, our watch party on the 23rd, I think, of April.
Mm-hmm.
And so I look forward to that. And it looks like we now have 3 guests at the moment that have said that they're willing to come. So hopefully everyone here has the opportunity. That's all I got.
Yeah. Wow. I want to give a shout out to everyone who gave a comment today, and your questions, phenomenal. But I got to tell you, I was blown away like everyone in the audience was, because everyone was asking questions. And like I said, they all went silent because they were just listening to her. That is a captive audience.
Yes.
Damn, she's good.
She's very good.
I don't know how these people stay on here for 2 hours.
She brought it. That's why. She brought
I'm
it.
just saying, all the interviews you always see are like a half hour, so they get them on and off.
10 minutes.
A 2 hour more conversation with these people, which is great. But I hope they don't get off there saying, "Oh, that's about time." But
They're probably saying it now, but she was very captivating.
Yeah, true story.
Yeah, she did not realize she'd been on for 2 hours until I said it.
No,
And I was looking at the timer, and I was like, "Oh, here we go again."
Just like Stacey.
I realized at the Linda, the only thing I would say to that is not was. Yes. That's the only thing I would say. Someone commented, I think it was on the post, "Thank you, Elizabeth, for giving me the welcome, all kidding aside." But someone made a comment about the length of our episodes, and I was trying to find it right now. So all I wanted to say was, so there.
Yeah.
Something how we've changed.
That's right.
That no one knows how long it's going to go or whatever, but I did like the comment, and I was just quiet throughout the episode, and then she blew the timing out the door. I'd like to know who made that comment, and I've not.
Well, here's another one that's kind of good.
I love this comment.
While you're looking
this
at
comment.
Yes, Anthony. Yes. That's what we do here, Anthony. I'd like, forgive me for being a bit arrogant myself, but one of the greatest compliments I ever received from someone about the conversations we have here, it's like you're on your porch on a summer day or even a cool evening, and you're just drinking lemonade or tea, and you're just shooting the time. Sorry, that's not appropriate in today's day and age. Just
shooting the time, huh?
Yeah, sorry. Anyway, but yes, Anthony, you're right on that one. So, again, she straightened us out quite a bit. I don't think she revealed anything. She just coalesced our views. And we're going to have a lot to see on episode 10.
No, she did plug that pretty hard. Pretty hard.
Yeah.
She went after it. So I hope the hype is right. Oh, the hype has been pretty good since episode 4. Like I said, it took me till episode 4 to get on because of things that were happening that happen in all these shows that are trekking out in space. But anyway, that's just me. I love it now. I can't get enough of it.
No kidding, Richard. I'm sorry that you missed out. It was
Well,
almost
that's my
part
fault.
2.
Why are you apologizing? I didn't show up.
I'm sorry for you that you missed it.
Well,
so I
went back to watch it,
yeah.
and then I see here that what maybe I thought she was going to be on Monday. What the hell's going on here?
She was in the chat room early on, and I think Jag and I both reacted the same way. I think we we joked about it. My other shirt, I couldn't button it up. I was so I can't put this one up.
Yeah, she was. I had written her earlier that day and said, "Oh, by the way, we're going to be doing a live broadcast, and we're going to be talking about episode 9." and that's what I said to her. And then she showed up in the chat room, and so I was typing her and saying, "Would you like to come on?" And And then those other two are going, Michael, do you have a question? I go, no, I'm typing an email right now.
Yeah, like an idiot. We
Jerk.
didn't see it. Yeah, we did not see that. So we just kept on in the
Michael can be
conversation.
pretty sneaky, can he?
Well, okay, now here was the funny thing, though. About 20 seconds before she came on, right, I said, oh, my God, what an idiot I've been. Why don't you join us now? She was already on her way in.
She was already on.
And Jag and I just lost our bananas yesterday.
You guys, if you don't know what we're talking about, look at the previous show episode. If you didn't see it,
I already
around
blamed
around 1:30, around that time, you'll see where Roger is putting something on the screen, and you'll see our reaction.
It is funny, but I do want to go back real quick. I do want to thank everyone that invited me to join the group as well. All kidding aside, Elizabeth, I thought it was funny what happened in yesterday's episode when I bitched about it. And I was like, man, you guys welcome everyone. You welcomed Michael and Richard in, and you didn't welcome me. I mean, I was stewing for a little while. I'm like, I'm like, I never get invited to be a guest. I never anything. And I'm part of this community, and now they get invited in, they get welcome in. And I swear, I refreshed the group several times. And I'm like, okay, some of them are out of order, I get it. And I went and I spent like 40 minutes, and I was like, oh, F this. Screw him.
But now you got the chair. You
did.
get the beautiful chair.
So once I got over my immaturity, Elizabeth, I kind of joked about it on the program, and it's become even bigger than it is now. So all kidding aside, I really appreciate the welcome. It was really, really cool. And there are a lot of comments on that post too, which is really neat. I have to get the Soylent green chips to go with my Clamato. That was pretty sharp.
I saw that. That was good.
That was sharp.
That was
I
good.
like that. But anyway, having the chance to join the community as well, albeit a little belatedly as opposed to those two up there, but that's neither here nor there. There's a lot of sharp commentary in these groups. Mercedes, and I'm generalizing and speaking for them. Mercedes, oh my God, help me out, Michael. Oh, Stacy and Ryan, they commented about this community.
Mm-hmm.
And they're commenting about all of you.
Yes.
That's why they're here.
Yes.
It's not us. It's because of you guys. And it's all of us together. That is bitching. To the future, I say we all go, and we're all going together. What the hell are we going to drink? Instead of Romulan ale, we're going to drink Comet water, right?
Comet water.
Sure enough. And no one got that comment last night. No one commented about it. So you're all too damn young. You guys can all go to hell. Michael, anything else you guys want to say? Otherwise, Michael will take us away.
Nothing? Okay.
Wow.
Well, okay, one more
or
time.
not. Let's see.
Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and the notification bell.
More stuff coming. More stuff is coming.
New story.
Yeah. Elizabeth, Marcia, and everyone else. Anthony.
Thank you.
Seriously, Eddie. I'm going to try to get everyone in there. Linda. We had a lot of comments from a lot of people in this episode.
Anthony came back as well. Thank you, Anthony.
Yes.
What was the guy's name? Fred Garcia. Thank you.
Oh,
the editor.
Very good. Yeah. Frank Garcia.
Frank Garcia. I'm sorry.
Susie Hudson. I'm trying to go through the list to see everyone that posted. Kathleen Carlson was one of the first ones. And I may not have been able to get everyone because I don't know if it scrolls up all the way. So, personal issues. It doesn't always get up all the time.
Oh, my God.
Anthony Fellow, thank you for the like. Tony Kanopka, Elizabeth, Olivia Cooper, and Bobby Nash. We love you. We appreciate it. And, hey, it just doesn't go up and it doesn't go up. Shut up. Michael, go.
Yeah. Okay. If you haven't subscribed, like Richard tells you to do, then we need to go to our webpage, ndbmedia.net. I'll get that. I have webpage there that has all of our shows that you can link and you can look at them in a better order sometimes than you can get on YouTube. So if you want to see the order they were in with the dates and the guests, and sometimes I put the links on that the guests put up there. So if you saw a link, you can go there. It's great, great resource. And that is about it. And I do not like airlocks, and I am sticking by that. And I'd like to say so long to everyone. Have a great rest of the week. And we will see you Sunday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 8 p.m. Central Time.
Yes. Thank you.
7 p.m. Mountain Time.
Yes.
6 p.m. Pacific and Arizona Time.
Ho!
So we will see you then. See you, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Peace!